And a very pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome to Wildcat Stadium here in Cassville, Missouri. The Wildcats hosting the Seneca Indians, Big 8 Conference football tonight here on the Talon Sports Network. Glad to be along with you for week number 7 of the high school football season. We're moved into the final one-third of the regular season. After tonight, just 2 weeks left before district play starts, and we're looking forward to tonight's matchup between the Wildcats and the Seneca Indians. Just to give you a quick heads up as we get started here tonight, we've got some issues with our radio gear this evening. Web TV side seems to be working fine, but the radio gear is giving us some glitches, so we may have some inadvertent instances of dead air or maybe some delays on the radio side. We apologize for that inconvenience with the technical difficulties, but on the Web TV side, everything is up and working well right now, and our streaming audio should be running fine as well, so hopefully that will work throughout the evening, and we bear with it through the radio side of things with our broadcast tonight of Big 8 football here from Cassville. This is just one of many games around the conference. Our other broadcast tonight has Aurora at Marshfield. Unfortunately, the Monette Cubs, they have had a lot of things happen in the last week and a half there at Monette. Contact isolation, positive test, injuries, and all that piled up on Monette at a single time, and their game tonight at Lamar has been canceled. Lamar tried to reschedule a game with Butler, one of their neighborhood foes, but that didn't work out either. McDonald County at Reed Spring also had to be canceled for tonight, but Reed Spring has picked up Kearney from up in the Kansas City area. Springfield Catholic, after 3 weeks of being out with coronavirus, mainly due to their coaching staff getting hit with the disease, they're back on the field tonight hosting Mount Vernon. Rogersville's at Hollister, and East Newton at Nevada. Those are the other Big 8 games around the area this evening. We'll try to keep up with all of those. We're also going to try to get you a score from time to time. That Nixa-Webb City matchup. Nixa number 2 in the state in Class 6, Webb City number 2 in Class 5, and they're playing each other tonight in COC play over in Webb City. Cassville comes into tonight with a record of 4-2. The Wildcats are 2-1 in the Big 8 West. Seneca is 2-3 overall, and they are 1-1 in the Western Division of the Big 8. Cassville also, after the win last week over Monette, jumped into the top spot in Class 3 District 6 play, but Mount Vernon is right behind them, and Mount Vernon holds the head-to-head advantage after the Mountaineers beat Cassville in week number 1. So Cassville wants to hang on to that top spot, but they need to get somebody to slide up in between them and Mount Vernon so that head-to-head won't take over. So lots of things going on here in the final 3 weeks of the regular season, and it starts here tonight with this ball game between Cassville and Seneca. It's homecoming tonight, so they're going over those pregame ceremonies. And, Jeremy, we've got another great night. I know it's going to be a little warm for the players, but the fans very comfortable for this game here this evening. And this one should be another good one. Seneca handing Cassville one of their 2 regular season defeats a year ago. And I know Seneca is a much different-looking team. A lot of their seniors were starters, Trey Wilson and Monty Males, to be a couple out of the backfield. They lost their 2 big defensive players. They do get their quarterback back, Lance Stevens, and they've got another Graham, or it's not Braxton, it's Jackson Graham. He's one of their talented running backs, and they got a couple of talented sophomores as well. So they had to sit out. They missed their game couple of weeks ago against McDonald County because of coronavirus, but they did play last week and beat Nevada by 1 point.
Well, and any team that's got a senior quarterback that has started for a while, for multiple seasons, he's got a handle on things. Most of the time, your senior quarterback's going to be able to handle about any situation that's thrown his way. And let me tell you something, junior running back Jackson Graham is a handful out there, very hard runner. The Wildcats are going to have to really pay attention to what he's got going on tonight and make life uncomfortable for Lance Stevens. Make him move around a little bit. Don't let him sit back in that pocket because we watch him throw the football, and I tell you what, he can really wing it.
They've got losses to Rogersville, Hollister, and East Newton, but back in week 1, before some of the health problems started creeping into them, they were able to beat Marshfield at Marshfield. We've got to see Marshfield, and we know they're a pretty good football team. So that's a quality win for them back to start the season, and then they got things back on the right track with that victory last week. So we'll see what happens and what Seneca team shows up here tonight, because like we talked with Coach Parnell in the postgame last week at Monette, from week to week you're not sure what to expect out of the Indians.
Well, and you're not sure to expect with anybody you play this year, whether it's injuries or whether it's COVID quarantines. It's just this season has just been crazy, and you can't predict anything in the Big 8 this year.
That is for definite sure. Well, tonight's broadcast brought to you in part by Access Family Care. They bring you the sportsmanship reminder each week. And when you attend a high school game, do you stand at attention during the national anthem? Do you cheer a good play by the opposing team? If your team loses, do you take it well in stride? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you're showing positive examples of sportsmanship. Don't forget that when you attend high school events, young eyes are watching you for examples of acceptable behavior. By making a conscious effort, you'll be helping our students grow into better citizens. Sportsmanship reminder brought to you by Access Family Care with locations in Cassville, Aurora, Mount Vernon, Joplin, and Neosho. Tonight's broadcast also brought to you in part by Tomblin's Jewelry. They're located on the square in Cassville. You can get your art carved and gold lance class rings at affordable prices from Tomblin's Jewelry on the northeast corner of the Cassville Square. And Sports World for screen printing, embroidery, sporting goods, school athletic clothing. You'll find it all at Sports World, 709 Main Street in Cassville. Call Sports World 847-5366. All right, we're going to see if we can get some of our radio side to work here. We're going to go to a commercial break, let you hear from some of our sponsors. We'll be back with more. You're listening to Big 8 Football here on the Talon Network. Back at Cassville, the Wildcats hosting the Seneca Indians here this evening. Glad to be with you on CassvilleWebTV.com and YouTube, and also on 97.7 FM. We talked about Cassville and their play coming into this week. They picked up a big win last Friday in the Berry County Brawl over the Monet Cubs, 50-0, and that improved them to 4-2. And it also nice bounce-back win after that loss here at home to Lamar. They go on the road, beat the Cubs, and now they're back here at home in week number 7.
Got the Seneca Indians, and it's always an interesting game when the Wildcats and Indians get together, and typically it's going to be a smash-mouth physical football game. And I tell you what, the funny thing about this these two teams is there was a lot of years there where the visiting team would win the ball game. Home team could not pick up a win in this series, and the Wildcats are certainly going to try to avoid that one tonight.
It's time for tonight's field condition report. It's brought to you by Security Insurance Agency. What condition is your insurance in? Are you covered for the hazards of weather or losses unexpected? Call Security Insurance in Cassville, 847-8384. That's 847-8384. Well, with the lack of rain we've had here in the last couple of weeks, you can start to see some of the grass get a few little brown spots in it. And we are getting to the middle of October, and most of the time Bermuda starts to go dormant in the fall anyway. But they're still, since Cassville has had more road games so far than home games, now they have had some junior high and JV games that's played here at Wildcat Stadium, but the field is in great shape for tonight's ball game.
Oh, absolutely. Grass is cut nice and short, and it really does look nice out there.
So we're looking forward to the matchup. Again, tonight's field condition report brought to you by Security Insurance Agency. And if you're covered for the hazards of weather and losses unexpected, or maybe you're not sure, call Security Insurance in Cassville, 847-8384. National Anthem is about to be played, and they're doing the invocation. National Anthem brought to you by Berry County Ready Mix. Call them at any of their convenient locations in Shellnut, Cassville, or Eagle Rock. Contact the Cassville office for a free estimate at 847-3200. Berry County Ready Mix bringing you the National Anthem. We'll step aside and be back with more after this. Sammy Clapper and Jeremy Marple back with you here at Cassville. Todd Speakman, as always, on the camera for us on CassvilleWebTV.com and YouTube. The Cassville Wildcats hosting the Seneca Indians here tonight. And it's time for tonight's Wildcat Keys to Victory. They're brought to you by Mark and the gang at Wesco Home Furnishings. They invite you to stop by and view their wide selection of furniture, mattresses, and appliances at 109 West State Street in Cassville. Find them online at wescohome.com. Well, what we were talking about before the break, not 100% sure what type of Seneca team we're going to see tonight because they've had an up-and-down season so far. But one thing for sure, and you'd already mentioned, it starts with their quarterback. He's a very talented athlete. You're going to have to be able to control what he does. He doesn't run the ball a ton, but you got to be wary of what he can do with his legs. And he has a very strong throwing arm, so you're going to have to be wary of that all night long as well.
Well, if you look at the two games from last year between the Indians and the Wildcats, all the Wildcats need to do, they need to watch the film from the second game that they played, and they were really able to get after Lance Stevens. They made him uncomfortable, made him rush some throws. The first meeting, as we stated, the Indians beat the Wildcats down at Seneca. In the playoffs, the Wildcats returned the favor, and that is your playbook, and emulate that on the defensive side of the football, and that's a recipe to kind of disrupt their offense. It goes through him. You disrupt the quarterback, and good things will happen.
And we talk about this every week, going to the line of scrimmage, and that's something Seneca did in the win last year down at Seneca. Their big defensive linemen really were physical up front, and they controlled a lot what was going on down there in the trenches. Cassville's offensive line has a size advantage tonight. They're going to have to use that size advantage to be able to dictate what they want to do.
Certainly, and that's what Coach Parnell wants to do. He wants those big guys up front to play physical, play big, and take control of that line of scrimmage early and continue through the ball game.
Again, tonight's Wildcat Keys to Victory brought to you by Mark Whittemeyer and the crew at Wesco Home Furnishings in Cassville. They're looking forward to another great season of Wildcat football. And just like the quality portrayed by each player on the field, Wesco offers that same quality merchandise and customer service. Both teams gathering in the locker rooms right now, going over their last-minute preparations before we get set to get tonight's game underway. Got something to let folks know about that watch us on YouTube and CassvilleWebTV.com. Was informed this week by the Missouri State High School Activities Association that as of week number 10 this season, once the postseason starts, in week 10 now, and it's been that way for a while, officially starts district play, so that is technically postseason, are ball games that are streaming the live video that you've been watching on YouTube and CassvilleWebTV.com. Once district play starts, those broadcasts will still be allowed to happen, but they will have to go through the Misha TV website. And that address is mshsaa.tv. So I encourage anyone that watches online, watches our Cassville Wildcat football broadcast on CassvilleWebTV.com or on YouTube, to go to mshsaa.tv or mshsaa.org and become familiar with those websites, because once district play starts, our video streams will have to route through their service, and there's nothing we can do about it. It's rules and regulations that they have put forth, and that is going to be across the entire state of Missouri. Anybody that streams video is going to have to go through misha.tv. So we encourage everyone to kind of get over to that website and start getting familiar. You will have to create an account. You will have to set a password and a login. And from what we understand, there will be subscription rates for the postseason playoff games. So that's something you also need to be aware of and get ready for, because it's out of our control, but it's coming week number 10.
Sammy, when you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all, so I'll send it right back to you.
There you go. Well, we want to pass along some condolences as well. The Cassville business community and Cassville sports community lost someone this week, and, of course, they are a sponsor of our Cassville High School sports activities. They're the sponsor of our kickoff each and every time a Wildcat player kicks the football off, and that's Baywash Car Wash, owned by Mike and Lisa Schlichtman. And Mike tragically lost his life this week, and we send our thoughts and prayers and condolences along to the family during this time.
Absolutely, just a tragedy. Caught, just there are no good words when something like that happens.
Long-time fixture here in the community. Now they have moved to Colorado, and they've been out there for a while. They ran the Monette Times and the Cassville Democrat newspapers for many years and did a great job with that. They still own the Baywash Car Wash and here in the community, and everyone I know here from Cassville is sending their thoughts and prayers to the family, and we do the same from Talon Sports and Talon Media. A tragic loss, and we hope everyone's doing well. And we have always appreciated their support of our broadcasts here on the Talon Sports Network and of Cassville High School Athletics. We're going to take another break as both teams are still in the locker room. We've had a little bit of extended pregame ceremonies because of the homecoming festivities. So we're going to let you hear from our sponsors once again, then be back with tonight's starting lineups and get ready for the kickoff of tonight's ball game. Back at Cassville, time for tonight's Wildcat starting lineups. It's brought to you by Fast Trip at 104 South Main in Cassville. Great prices and friendly service is what you'll find at Fast Trip. Stop by today, locally owned by Mike and Anita Carr. Now, this starting lineup was given to me by the coach back during the middle of the week. We know there are going to probably be a couple of changes in this starting lineup, as there have been some instances where some kids are going to be having to move around for tonight's ball game, but we'll catch up with those as we play on here this evening. We'll give you what we had, and starting at quarterback, it'll be Hayden Sink. He is a 6'4", 230-pound senior. In the backfield, Zach Kanan, 6'1", 215 senior, and Jericho Ferris, 5'10", 185 senior. The receivers, Drake Reese, 6'3", 190 senior, and Brett Cooper, 5'9", 165 senior. Tight end, Killian Barbie, 6'2", 205 senior. And the offensive line, center Zach Carney, 6'1", 240 senior. Right guard, Jaden Rybert, 6'4", 290 senior. Right tackle, Hunter Chasteen, 6'1", 225 senior. Left guard, Christian Tidwell, 5'9", 235 sophomore. And left tackle, Brady Schweer, 5'11", 245 senior. On the defensive side for the Wildcats, at the tackles, Patrick Dunker, 6', 285 senior, and Jaden Rybert, 6'4", 290 senior. The defensive ends, Hunter Chasteen, 6'1", 225 senior, and Michael Morgan, 6'1", 215 junior. Linebackers, Killian Barbie, 6'2", 205 senior, Zach Kanan, 6'1", 215 senior, and Spencer Moeller, 5'8", 170 senior. The corners, Brett Cooper, 5'9", 165 senior, and Jerome Ewing, 5'10", 155 senior. Free safety is Hernan Hernandez, 5'9", 160 sophomore. Strong safety Jericho Ferris, 5'10", 185 senior. Again, the Wildcats starting lineup brought to you by Fast Trip. Whether you're needing fuel, grocery items, snacks, fountain drinks, maybe you need some quick cash, they've got the ATM right inside the door. It's all there at 104 South Main in Cassville. Fast Trip, locally owned by Mike and Anita Carr. The captains are gathering with the coaches and the officials as we get set for tonight's coin toss. We've still got about 4 or 5 minutes before the opening kickoff tonight. Cassville, coached by Lance Parnell, and the Seneca Indians, coached by Ryan McFarland. And the Cassville captains, Hunter Chasteen, Jaden Rybert, also Jericho Ferris, and looks like Drake Reese gathering down there. We'll see if all 4 of those do proceed. Zach Kanan down there as well. So I think it's going to be Chasteen's out, and it's going to be Rybert along with Ferris, Kanan, and Reese. Those are going to be the 4 that are going to head out onto the field with Coach Parnell. Of course, with the new rules put into place this year, only the selected captain goes out to the middle of the field. The coaches and the other team captains stay outside the hash. And the team captain for the Seneca Indians is number 61. Or no, 51. Thank goodness, because there's not a 61 on the roster. 51, Grant Hoover. He is a 5'9", 250-pound senior offensive defensive lineman, and they'll be meeting with the officials. Tonight's coin toss is brought to you by the Clark Center. They have offices in Berry, Lawrence, and Dade counties. You can go to www.clarkmentalhealth.com to find the phone number for the services in your area. Clark Community Mental Health Center, moving forward, improving lives and communities through compassion and care. Clark Center bringing you tonight's coin toss. And Seneca has won the toss, and they have deferred their option to the second half. So Cassville will be getting the football to start tonight's game. Cassville will be defending the north end zone. They'll be headed towards the south end zone here at Wildcat Stadium. So the Wildcat offense is going to get the first crack at it here tonight in this Big 8 battle between Seneca and the Cassville Wildcats.
Well, the Wildcats will send that offense on the field, try to set the tone early in this one, Sammy, and get things going. Just come out and play physical, really fire off that football, get a nice push up front, allow room for these running backs to work, and take care of business out here.
Tonight's first quarter is brought to you by Michael's Hardware at 186 Sale Barn Road in Cassville. For your project questions, call Michael's. Friendly folks, serious hardware. Hayden Sink will lead the offense. He's ran for nearly 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's also thrown for 230 and 2 more scores. And we'll catch you on some of the other stats for the Cassville running backs as we play on here in quarter number 1. Drake Reese and Jericho Ferris dropping back deep. And it will be for the Indians kicking off Garrett Babbitt. He's been handling those duties for the past couple of years for the Indians, one of their offensive linemen. Cassville in the home black jerseys with the gray pants with the black and gold stripe down the side, gold numbers on the front and back, and the black helmets with the Wildcat on the right and the left. Seneca in the road white jerseys with red numbers on the front and back. They've got the white helmets and the red pants. And Seneca more and more here in recent years have been adding in the blue accents to get that little, they were used to just be pretty much straight red and white, but now they've put in a little blue every now and then for that red, white, and blue effect. So Babbitt approaches a short step, and he pooches one up to the 35-yard line. It's fielded over there by one of the up men who makes the catch and brings it out just shy of the 40-yard line before he is swarmed under, and that was Spencer Moeller, who stepped up and received the short kick, and the Wildcats are going to have pretty good starting field position on their opening drive of the night.
Yeah, good place to start here for the Cats, and we'll see what they come out and try to do here early in this football game.
It'll be at their own 38, 1st and 10 Cassville. Ferris and Kanan in the backfield. Jericho Ferris has ran for over 1,800 yards and 12 touchdowns on the year. Zach Kanan, who's only played the last 3 weeks, he's ran for nearly 200 yards and 3 scores for the Wildcats. They split the backfield behind Sink, send receivers right and left. And on first down, they give it to Kanan. He powers off right tackle. Then he cuts back to his left, moves it across the 40-yard line, maybe out to the 41. It took 3 or 4 players for the Seneca defense to bring him down after a pickup of nearly 3 yards.
Well, the Indians come out, and you're looking at one-on-one coverage right there on Drake Reese. And if you're Clay Weldy, the offensive coordinator of the Wildcats, you kind of like that matchup. You go athlete for athlete, and you kind of like your odds with Reese being out there one-on-one.
Cassville this time sends twin receivers to the right side. They keep the backfield split behind Sink, and they pitch the ball to Ferris. Here he comes to the wide side, gets a block from Kanan, takes it across the 45 out to the 46-yard line. Comes up just a little short of the first down marker, but it's going to bring up third down and short.
The Wildcats attack straight ahead on play 1. They run a little toss sweep around the right edge, trying to stretch out this defense, trying to let Ferris use that speed.
So third down and about 1.5 yards to go from their own 46. They go to the I formation this time. Sink up under center. They give the ball to Kanan. Powers his way right up the middle and picks up the first down as he dives out to the 49-yard line. Wildcat first down brought to you by Superior Metal. They're first in metal roofing. Look them up on Facebook or YouTube and request a free quote.
Middle linebacker for the Indians tried to step up right in that hole and met Kanan head on. Kanan won that battle. Made his way forward, picking up that first down, but just a big lick right in the hole there. Kanan won the battle.
Just 1.5 minutes into the opening quarter, Cassville on the opening drive of the night, and the Wildcats pick up their initial first down of the evening. Back to the split backfield behind Sink. They give it to Kanan again. This time he runs off right tackle. The flow of the play went to the left. Kanan cutting back to the right, and he takes it across midfield into Seneca territory as he drives down to the 48-yard line of the Indians.
Yeah, I think Sink in that option game wanted to pull the football and take off himself. Kanan just grabbed it and would not give it back.
So it was a gain of 3. And it'll bring up second down and 7. Sink looking to throw. He's got Reese open out at the 40-yard line. He goes up, makes the catch, comes down with the football, and he's got the first down. Good job by Drake Reese going up between a couple of defenders, hauling down the football for a Wildcat first down. It's brought to you by Superior Metal. They're first in all your farm building needs. You can find them online at superiormetalsalesinc.com.
Well, a nice route there by Reese, too. He knew how much yardage he needed for the first down. He went past that, turned around. Ball was delivered on time. Really nice job there by the Wildcats.
Drake Reese coming into the ball game had over 270 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns, and he makes his first catch of the night. They give the ball to Ferris. Right up the middle he goes, and he runs into one of the linebackers, Nick Aerosmith. Laid a lick on Ferris, but he was able to drive inside the 40 down to about the 37-yard line.
And looking at that offensive line for the Wildcats, trying to decide who is stepping in tonight. Look like 68 Brendan Solinsky. And then I'm trying to get another number over there. We'll try to get that for you in just a minute.
On second down and 7, the Wildcats running the football again, and around the right end goes Sink, and Sink races his way down just short of the 30-yard line. They're going to spot him down at the 31 for a gain of 6, and it'll bring up third down and 1 yard. Cassville converting their first third down try on the night, and they've got a third and short here just outside the Seneca 30-yard line. The Wildcats have held the ball for nearly 4 minutes here on their opening drive of the night. And Sink on the quarterback keeper, ducks right in behind his center and right tackle and takes it inside the 30 and picks up the Wildcat first down. The Wildcat first down again brought to you by Superior Metal. They're first in custom ag buildings. You can check them out on Facebook or YouTube and call for a free quote, 888-364-9527.
Well, we talked about the Wildcats in short yardage with Hayden Sink back there at quarterback, and they've had a lot of success with that quarterback sneak. Again, just a great big quarterback, 240 pounds, and they pick it up fairly easily, Sammy.
They give the ball to Kanan, starts left, cuts back right, big hole up the middle, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Cassville.
Little trap play right there, and Kanan took the handoff and made a nice cut move just past the line of scrimmage, back against the grain, and then off to the races, splits the safeties, into the end zone he goes. Great opening drive for the Wildcats.
Took a little over 4 minutes off the clock, 62 yards on 9 plays, and a 29-yard touchdown run by Zach Kanan gets the Wildcats on the board. Now Drake Reese will come in to attempt the point after out of the hold of Cutter Hicks. He calls for the ball, puts it on the tee. The kick is away, and it is good. Wildcat touchdown brought to you by Willis Insurance on the square in Cassville, established in 1887. They're also in the Bridgeway Plaza in Shell Knob. Stop by Willis Insurance, your trusted choice insurance agent. Wildcat Extra Point brought to you by the Barbecue Station, 900 Main Street, just north of the Cassville Square. Get your bib on at the Barbecue Station, or you can call them for your next catered event at 847-0470.
Well, Wildcats doing exactly what they wanted to start this game. Nice drive down the field, little mixture of run and pass in there. Kept off by really nice run by Zach Kanan. Nice job blocking up front with this offensive line.
Again, tonight's first quarter brought to you by Michael's Hardware. Let them quarterback your project with the right tools and supplies for the job. Michael's Hardware, friendly folks, serious hardware, 186 Sale Barn Road in Cassville. Now the Wildcat kickoff brought to you by Baywash Car Wash. Come try out the all-new IQ Soft Cloth Automatic. It features the custom wash technology that gives you the perfect wash every time. Baywash Car Wash, a clean car is a happy car, and that makes you feel good. Drake Reese tees it up and back deep for the Indians. If I can get him to turn sideways for me. We've got back for the Indians. I can see Sebastian Middick, and it does not matter who the other one is because the ball goes way over his head and into the end zone. That was Ethan Fritchie, the other return man, and it will be a touchback. The Indians will start at their own 20.
Now the Wildcat defense will get an opportunity to come out and set the tone on the defensive side of the football. Offense did their job, Sammy. Now let's see what the defense can do out here.
Lance Stevens, the quarterback for Seneca, comes up to the line of scrimmage, drops up under center. He's got a flanker off to the left side, split backfield, and they are really split. Now they change the formation as he drops back into a pistol, and they overload the right side with a receiver and a flanker. Stevens starts to roll that way, sets up, and he throws, and he's got a man wide open, and he will take it the distance, as it was Sebastian Middick on the fly pattern down the sidelines. Somebody over there on that side lost containment, and Lance Stevens showed that strong arm as he dropped it right into the hands of Middick in stride, and the Indians, one play, are within an extra point of tying this game up.
Yeah, somebody completely lost Middick. He just ran straight down the field, and we see Stevens' arm strength right there, put it right in the hands of the wide receiver, never broke stride Middick into the end zone. So the Indians come out and answer right back.
A one-play, 80-yard drive, the touchdown pass to Middick, and now the extra point is on the way. It kind of comes off a little line drive off the foot of the kicker, Braden Thiel, but it does go between the uprights, and we are tied. So 10 seconds after Cassville scored the first points of the night, the Indians answer, and it's all knotted up 7 points apiece.
Well, you're on the road. That's one way to answer giving up a score to start the football game. The Indians come out and do a little formation shift, pre-snap, get back in shotgun. Stevens took the snap, kind of leaked and rolled out to his right. And I don't know something happened. Obviously, obvious miscommunication out there because the Indian wide receiver was 20 yards behind everybody, nobody close.
Yeah, and I don't know whether that was his first option or not, but he was still kind of moving, and then all of a sudden he just hit the brakes and set the feet and launched it, and I hadn't really looked to see who he was throwing to until the ball was in the air, and when I looked to see where it was going, there was no black shirts around Middick, and he was able to make the catch and go in for the touchdown. So Babbitt now will be back out to kick it away for the Indians. We're all tied at 7 with 7:40 left to go here in the opening quarter. Drake Reese and Jericho Ferris back at their own 15-yard line awaiting the kick. Last time it was a short little pooch kick by Babbitt. We'll see what he has in store this time. Checks with his teammates, gets the whistle, approaches, and this time it's a bouncing kick, and one of the Indians broke the line of scrimmage, so they jumped off sides. You'll see that happen once in a while with one of the guys that's way out wide on one sideline or the other, but the guy that actually broke before the ball was kicked was the guy that was right by the kicker. You think he would have a pretty good look as to when the ball was kicked. That'll back them up 5 yards, and they'll redo it. So it'll move it back to the 35, and Babbitt will try it once again. 7-7 ball game here early on. That one was a line drive bouncing kick down the middle of the field after the pooch kick on the first one. So we'll see what Babbitt does here. Now we got whistles again. And trying to see where that whistle come from, because this side judge on our side is kind of checking back with the official. Maybe they hadn't reset the clock yet. Now they've got things rolling, and Babbitt will attempt to kick it once again. And this one is a squib kick, a bounder right down the middle of the field. Goes to Moeller again. He picks it up at the 40-yard line, trying to race out to the 45, but good coverage by the Indians as they drop him at the 44.
Nice job there by Moeller at picking that ball up. I tell you, it's a tough thing to do when a football is on the ground rolling end over end right at you, because there's no way to tell. It may stay down, it may hop up. It actually hopped up on him right at the end, but Moeller did a nice job of securing the football for his team.
So 1st and 10 Wildcats. The ball at their own 44-yard line. Cassville and Seneca all tied at 7 apiece. Cooper and Reese come wide to the right side. And they split the backfield of Ferris and Kanan behind Sink, and he will give the ball to Ferris. Ferris cuts back up the middle, takes it across the 45, out to the 47, maybe the 48-yard line. And they are going to spot him down at the 48 for a gain of nearly 4 yards, and it'll bring up 2nd down and a long 6.
Well, they ran the counter play to Kanan for the score in the last drive. This time they run the counter to Ferris. He was hit at the line of scrimmage, but he was able to gain some positive yardage there.
Still 7 minutes left to go here in quarter number 1. 7-7 our score. Both teams have scored on their first possessions of the night. Cassville with their second offensive drive. And Sink going to keep it himself. Fakes the handoff to both running backs and then turns the corner and fights his way into Seneca territory. Dropped down at the 47-yard line, very close to that first down stake.
I'll tell you, Sink keeps the football going around the left edge, and first contact he gets was right around their own 49-yard line. He's able to shake the tackle and drag a couple more tacklers for another 3 or 4 yards. Just a strong run right there.
Comes up about a half a yard short. It's 3rd down for the Wildcats at the Seneca 47. And Sink this time gives it to the first man through. Kanan is hit right as he gets the football, but second effort fights his way down to the 46-yard line and appears to have the first down.
We'll see the spot here.
They're checking it out. He doesn't get the most favorable spot, but they do say he picks up the first down by about the length of the football. The Wildcat first down brought to you by Superior Metal. They're first in custom ag buildings, commercial or farm buildings. You can find them all at Superior Metal, SuperiorMetalSalesInc.com. Cassville quickly running an offensive play, and this time they start out wide. Ferris cuts it back up in the middle of the field, and several Seneca defenders there to make the stop.
Ferris taking that toss sweep and really trying to get downfield in a hurry. Didn't try to outrun anyone to the edge. Those Seneca defenders, they're playing some inspired football right now. They're flying to the ball. Ferris able to gain some positive yardage right there, but there were 3 or 4 Seneca Indian defenders who brought him down.
Seneca stays with the 4-man front. It's a gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. Sink looking to throw over the middle. He's got a man wide open down the slot, and he overthrows the intended receiver, Jericho Ferris. Well, Ferris had nothing but green grass between him and the end zone, but the pass a little too tall for him, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, the ball sailed on Sink right there. He had a couple of options right there. He could have thrown it and just put it right on Ferris, just kind of a line drive, or he had time. He could have just lobbed the ball in the air and let Ferris run under it. He was kind of somewhere in between, and Ferris just not able to go up and get the football. Wildcats miss a touchdown right there.
5:18 left to play, quarter number 1, 7-7 ball game. Cassville facing 3rd down and 7. They've been perfect on 3rd down conversions up to this point, but this is the longest attempt of the night, and Kanan is hit right as he gets to the line of scrimmage. Somebody got into his legs, and they drop him for a pickup of only a yard, and it'll bring up 4th down and 6.
4th and 6. Wildcats are going to bring the punt team on. And not a lot of emotion on this Wildcat sideline right now. Pretty calm. I guess you could call it workmanlike.
Drake Reese to punt the ball away for Cassville. Return man dropping back around his own 15. Reese, a little rugby style, runs to his right and kicks it high in the air. It bounces at the 15, but takes a Seneca hop back towards the 20-yard line. Somebody jumps in there quickly and stops it from making it all the way back to the 20. Seneca going to start at their own 19.
Well, the Indians scored from 80 on their first possession, so the Wildcats going to try to regroup here and have a little better showing here in the second drive.
Indians break huddle and come up to the line of scrimmage. Right now, Stevens up under center, split backfield behind him, twin receivers out to the right. We saw him shift formations last time. This time they're going to go ahead and snap the football. Handoff goes to the right side. And the ball carrier for the Indians was Dane Napier.
Indians were in split back right there. Napier going off right tackle there. Short gain. Nice job by the Wildcat defense.
He picks up nearly 2 yards, and it'll bring up second down and long. Stevens taking a lot of time up at the line of scrimmage. Don't know whether that's their game plans to try to shorten the game already here in the first quarter, but Stevens with a quick snap count. Around the right end he goes on the quarterback keeper. He picks up the first down across the 30 out to the 34-yard line.
Well, sometimes your best defense is to keep the other offense off the field. Stevens coming to the line of scrimmage before he got under center. He watched the play clock roll down to about 5 seconds before he started his cadence and took the snap. Kept it himself around the right edge, broke some tackles, and picked up a first down to keep the drive going.
It's a gain of 13 yards for Stevens and a first down for the Indians. Out at the 34-yard line of Seneca. 7-7 ball game. 3:20 now left to play here in the opening quarter. Seneca double tight. They hand the ball off to the second man through, and that's Graham. And Jackson Graham has nowhere to go as he tried the short side of the field and was smothered under by the Cassville defense.
Yeah, really good job over there. Looked like Hunter Chastain was the first man there, and that's how you deal with Graham. You've got to get to him early. Don't let him get wound up and going. Nice play there on that side of the defense.
Ends up being about a yard loss on the play. And it'll bring up second down and 11. Indians send the twin receivers to the short side. They're over on the far hash. And Stevens with a quick three-step drop fires it down the Seneca sideline. The catch is made out at the 40-yard line. It's going to be short of the first down, but they pick up a little bit over half of the yardage they needed to pick up a first down.
Just a quick hitter there, a little stop route right over near the Seneca sideline. And looked like Ewing was right there as the ball arrived to wrap up the receiver and bring him down. Big third down right here.
Connor Ackerson making the catch. He's a sophomore. And it brings up third down and 3 to go for the Indians at their own 41-yard line. 2 minutes left to play here in the opening quarter. 7-7 our score. First third down conversion try of the night for the Indians. Cassville comes with a 5-man front. Stevens gives the ball to Graham. Graham breaks through the line of scrimmage, picks up the first down across the 45, still on his feet as he pushes out close to the midfield stripe before he is finally brought down.
Well, the Indians, for years, Sammy, have always had great running backs, guys that ran hard. Not always the biggest. So you look at Graham, he's 160 pounds, about 5'8", but they run bigger than that. And you just saw an instance of that right there with that run by Graham. Just powerful running, breaking tackles, and picking up another first down.
So the drive continues for the Indians with 1:20 left to go here in the first quarter. Nose of the football touching the 50-yard line. Stevens with a flanker and a slot off to his right, and he hands the ball back up the middle. And Napier, the ball carrier, takes it into Cassville territory, brought down hard to the ground somewhere around the 47-yard line.
This drive, Sammy, the Seneca's offensive line is doing a nice job of getting a surge, getting push, blocking, holding their blocks, getting downfield, creating some lanes for these backs to run through.
It's a pickup of nearly 3 yards. It'll bring up second down and long. The ball at the Cassville 47. We're down to 40 seconds left to go in the opening quarter. Stevens again taking his time at the line of scrimmage, letting the play clock wind down. He snaps it with 5 seconds left to go. Handoff goes around the left end. A couple of Cassville defenders there to meet the Seneca ball carrier, and that time it was Jackson Graham once again. He moves inside the 45 down to the 44-yard line, and it'll bring up third down and 2.
A nice job, Zach Kanan in on the tackle. Graham taking that, trying to go off the left side. Just a subtle but quick cut right back to the middle of the football field. Kanan right there.
Not sure if Seneca, no, looks like they are not going to snap the ball again here in the first quarter. Again, tonight's first quarter brought to you by Michael's Hardware. It'll give you your to-do list, a game plan that's sure to be a winner. Michael's Hardware, friendly folks, serious hardware. 12 minutes gone here at Wildcat Stadium, 7-7 our score. We'll take a break and be back with quarter number 2. You're listening to Big 8 Conference Football here on the Talon Network. Back with you here at Cassville. We move on to quarter number 2. Tonight's second quarter brought to you by Roark Diesel. They're just north of Cassville on Highway 37. They're the leader in the region for diesel performance. If your engine is just not right, bring it to Roark Diesel. They specialize in diesel performance. You can give them a call at 847-6560. That's 847-6560. 7-7 our score as we move into quarter number 2. A rapidly played first quarter here tonight between Cassville and Seneca. Indians with the football at the Cassville 44, third down and nearly 3 yards to go. Stevens this time from the pistol has one setback behind him, and he fakes the handoff to him, and he's going to run it himself. Turns the corner and picks up the first down, racing his way down to about the 38-yard line. He needed 3, picked up nearly 5, and the Indians move the chains once again.
Well, a little zone read out of the shotgun right there. Stevens makes the read, keeps it himself around the right edge, works his way downfield, moving the chains, and the Indians keeping the football for a big chunk of that first quarter. They're kind of taking the air out of the ball here and keeping it away from this Wildcat offense.
Yeah, they had the ball for the final 4.5 minutes of quarter number 1, and that drive continues here in the second quarter of play. Graham all alone in the backfield. Stevens back up under center. Graham gets the call, and he is immediately grabbed as he tries to turn the corner on the short side of the field. He is able to push ahead for a pickup of maybe a yard or 2. Looks like we're going to give him 2 on the carry, and it'll bring up second down and 8.
Outside linebacker Spencer Moeller able to shed a block and get out and make a tackle.
Seneca this time, the snap goes rolling back to Stevens, but he picks it up and launches a pass down the field, and the catch is made down around the 25-yard line, hauled in down there, and now the receiver breaks free after being surrounded by Cassville defenders, somehow comes out of the pack and takes it into the end zone for a touchdown. And that's one of the strangest plays you'll see. And I believe that was Renfro, but not 100% sure on that.
Well, he caught the football, Sammy.
Or was that Middick?
Turned around and caught the football. Had a Wildcat defender right there around his leg. 2 more Wildcats come over and lay hits on him, and somehow he comes out of the mess.
Now a bad snap on the extra point try, and Lucas Mars has to try to run for the 2-point conversion, and it is unsuccessful. So with 10:57 left to go in the half, Seneca has taken their first lead of the night over Cassville, 13-7.
Well, somehow the receiver was able to come out of that mess and work his way right down the Seneca sideline for a touchdown. I don't know how he did that. There were too many black jerseys around him and had a hold of him. Unbelievable play right there.
Did not get a clear look at the number, whether it was 15 or 25. We're going to try to double check on that and make sure. Otherwise, we'd have to wait until halftime and confirm with the Seneca media. They're here broadcasting tonight as well. So we'll double check on that. Did you get a number? Oh, it was Aerosmith. Okay, he was one of the return guys a while ago. So it was Nick Aerosmith on the catch, and as you said, somehow was able to sneak through several defenders and found his way 36 yards for a touchdown. Babbitt is no longer kicking for the Indians, as now kicking will be Braden Thiel. He was kicking the extra point a while ago, and now he's going to do the kickoff as well. Brett Cooper hauls it in at the 25-yard line, brings it up the Seneca sideline, gets away from one man, takes it across the 30, but is stopped before he can get to the 35. So the Indians on top 13-7 early on here in quarter number 2, and Cassville will start this drive at their own 32-yard line.
Well, the Indians have come to play football tonight, and no doubt about that. The Wildcats going to start their third possession right here.
Hayden Sink gives the ball to Kanan. Kanan, behind the strong offensive line surge, pushes out across the 35 to the 36 and picks up 4 yards.
Yeah, nice gain, actually, on first down there. 4 yards, just nearly 5. Wildcats still running their offense. And what happens when you run the football, Sammy, and you have success running the football, you tend to suck the defense in, which sets up big plays in the passing game, play action, things type like that.
So 2nd down and 6. They pitch the ball to Ferris. Ferris turns the corner and fights his way out to the 40-yard line. Took a couple of shots over there, but held on to the football, and it'll bring up 3rd down and short. They say his knee went down about the 39 after a gain of 3. It'll be 3rd down and 2 facing Cassville.
Now Ferris taking that toss sweep, heading to the short side of the field over near that Seneca sideline. And tell you what, he goes full speed as soon as the ball touches his hands, and just no fear running into traffic.
This will be the 5th 3rd down try already for Cassville here early in this football game. They're 3 of 4 so far. This one a 3rd down and 2 from just inside their own 40. Sink is going to run it himself in behind a couple of blockers, and he's got the first down before he is shoved back. Good job by the 2 lead blockers over there for Hayden Sink, and the Cassville Wildcats will move the chains. The Wildcat first down brought to you by Superior Metal. Find them online at superiormetalsalesinc.com.
Well, nice job there, Patrick Dunker, kind of leading the way there for Sink. Came up off the bottom of that pile, but a nice job to allow Sink to get that forward progress and pick up that first down.
9 minutes left to go before halftime. Seneca leading 13-7. Cassville 1st and 10 at their own 43. Sink looked like he wanted to pass for a minute. Now the pressure in the pocket collapses. He comes out of the pack, throws to the tight end, Barbie. The catch is made in Seneca territory inside the 45, and Barbie turns it upfield and takes it all the way down to the 35-yard line before being knocked out of bounds.
Yeah, it looked like Sink wanted to throw the quick slant out here to Reese, but I'm not sure Reese was looking for the ball. Sink had to pull it back in. Did a great job to elude some pressure, and Barbie had snuck out wide open right over there on the Seneca sideline all the way across the field. Sink delivers the football, and a big first down there for the Wildcats.
It's a gain of 22 yards, first down Cassville at the Seneca 35. Sink gives the ball to Kanan, ducks his head, and plows into the defense of the Indians and drives down to the 33 for a pickup of a couple, and it'll bring up 2nd down and long.
Yeah, this defensive line of the Indians, they're still playing physical down there. They're matching the physicality of the Wildcats' offensive line right there. These Wildcat runners are taking some hits right at that line of scrimmage.
Doesn't get the most favorable of spots. It's a gain of only a yard. I thought he might have gotten 2, but it's 2nd down and 9 for Cassville from the Seneca 34-yard line. Unbalanced left. Sink rolling that direction, looking downfield, throws underneath. The catch is made at the 19 by Reese. A nice spin back to the middle of the field, inside the 10, all the way down to the 7-yard line.
Yeah, really good play call right there. A little rollout to the left. Sink does a really nice job getting those shoulders turned, squaring up, delivering a bullet out there. A really good route run there by Reese. Turns around, ball's on time. He makes the catch, makes a man miss. Athletic play there, but another big pass play for the Wildcats.
So first down, Cassville. They spot him down at the 8. So first and goal for the Wildcats. They pitch it to Ferris. Ferris trying to run in behind the blocking of Kanan. Around the end he goes and into the end zone. Touchdown, Cassville.
Yeah, good answer right there for this Wildcat offense. Again, a nice mixture of run and pass, and they use Ferris and his speed to get to the pylon all the way across near that Indian sideline. Toss sweep. Ferris hit the Jets. Got a nice block out in front. Took care of the rest with his speed. Good job.
Wildcat touchdown brought to you by Willis Insurance for auto, home, health, life, and commercial insurance. See the folks at Willis Insurance. Stop by and get a quote today. Drake Reese in to attempt the point after. Snaps on the tee, and the kick is on the way, and it is good. The Wildcat extra point brought to you by the Barbecue Station. Come on by the Barbecue Station and check out the Marple Bowl. It's a legend. The Barbecue Station, 900 Main in Cassville, just north of the square. You can also call them for all your catering needs at 847-0470. So 7:59 now left to play in the first half. Cassville back on top, 14-13, after the 8-yard touchdown run from Ferris.
Well, Sammy, you want to know how to get defenders out of the box when you're struggling running the football? You have some success in the passing game. Wildcats did just that. If they're able to maintain that short to intermediate passing game, maybe stretch the defense long a couple of times, that'll get some of those guys out of the box and make it easier for these Wildcat runners and offensive line for that matter. I tell you what, when you've got the D-line and you've got the linebackers, everybody creeping up there, there's just not enough bodies to block everyone. You get them out of there, get them in some pass coverage, things will open up in the run game.
Drake Reese in to kick it away. The Wildcat kickoff brought to you by Baywash Car Wash. Come try out the all-new IQ Soft Cloth Automatic. It gives you the perfect wash every time. A clean car is a happy car, and that makes you feel good. And that's what you'll get at Baywash Car Wash in Cassville. The wind that was blowing before the sun went down has now subsided. Reese kicking towards the north end zone this time, and he puts it out the back of the end zone for another touchback.
And another nice kick there for Reese. The Indians will start at the 20, have 80 yards of football field to go, and this Wildcat defense has got to find a way to answer what the Indians are doing on offense.
Tonight's second quarter brought to you by Roark Diesel. Since 2006, they've been providing Cassville and the surrounding area with a huge selection of diesel performance products. You can call 847-6560 or find them online, roarkdiesel.com. That's R-O-A-R-K diesel.com. First and 10 Indians at their own 20. Cassville back in front, 14-13. Wildcats struck first, led 7-0. A couple of touchdowns by the Indians gave them the lead, 13-7. But now the Wildcats back on top by a single point. Indians running the ball on first down. Ball carrier with both hands wrapped tightly around the football. And we've got Napier on the carry. Takes it out across the 25 to the 27, and it'll bring up second down and 3. Unbalanced right, the Indians up at the line of scrimmage. They bring a man in motion. After he passes through, they run that direction, and then a quick cutback by Napier moves it out across the 30 to the 32 and picks up a first down for the Indians.
The Indians able to run the football, and you're going to be successful on offense if you can run the football, and the Indians are showing that tonight. They're getting a good push. You look down at the field, you look at the players. Wildcats definitely the bigger team out here tonight. But this offensive line's doing just enough, getting enough push, and these backs are running the ball very hard.
So first and 10, Seneca. Cassville back with the 4-man front. Stevens brings a man in motion, resets to the left side. Napier gets the call. Big hole around the left end. He's across the 40, out to the 44-yard line, very close to another Indian first down. We'll see where they spot this one. This one's right there on the chains, and they're going to give him the 45, and it'll be another first down for Seneca.
Yeah, just an explosive play off left tackle right there. Ball carrier just shot down the field, not touched until he got in the secondary by one of the Wildcat safeties.
It's a gain of nearly 11. 1st and 10, Seneca. We're down to 6.5 left to go here before halftime. Cassville leading 14-13. Indians on the move. They give it off to Jackson Graham. Starts right, cuts back left, and is swarmed under just shy of the 50-yard line. He's able to pick up about 4 yards, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 6.
Well, the difference in this game right now offensively, as far as the running game goes, is the Seneca running backs, they're not getting touched until they're a yard, maybe 2 downfield. Wildcat runners have not had that luxury so far in this game. We'll see if that changes as we move forward.
Halfway through the second quarter now, and the Indians right at midfield. Cassville moving around on the defensive side, and the movement paid off because they gave the ball to Napier, and he got stuffed. Got hit behind the line of scrimmage, but fell forward across midfield into Cassville territory. Picked up only about a half a yard, and this brings up 3rd down and 5.
And I believe that was Barbie that was able to beat his block and get in there. Really good play that time by Barbie.
So 3rd down and 4.5 to go. Big 3rd down play here, trying to get Seneca off the field. Cassville with the 4-4. They run the option. Seneca pitches the ball to Graham, and he's going to be dropped for a loss back at the 47-yard line.
Running the option game. Stevens kept the football, defended perfectly by the Wildcats right there. Stevens keeps the football, pitches to Graham, and how fast did that happen as Ferris was engaged with a wide receiver. He's able to shuck the blocker and into the backfield, into the wheels of Graham like a bullet. Really, really nice play there by Jericho Ferris.
So the Indians will be forced to punt, facing 4th down and 8. Brett Cooper back at his own 10, awaiting the kick. And we have whistles as Lance Stevens got the punt away, but they'll have to redo something here as flags come out. And we've got a procedure penalty against the Indians, so that'll back them up 5 yards. Second flag against Seneca for a total of 10 yards. We got some other scores around the Big 8. Aurora leading Marshfield at Marshfield, 20-0. Mount Vernon Catholic scoreless in the second quarter. Nevada has a 25-0 lead over East Newton. Kearney 33-0 over Reed Spring. Hollister has a 6-3 lead in the second quarter over Rogersville, and Webb City on top of Nixa right now early in the second, 7-0. High snap this time, but Stevens gets it down and gets away a nice kick. Brett Cooper calls for a fair catch back at the 25 and then has to dive forward to make that catch. And the Wildcats are going to start at about their own 26.5-yard line.
Well, Sammy, you look at these scores, and the first two that you read, this Aurora score and the Mount Vernon score, well, it could have big-time implications in the Wildcat district. Cassville's got to take care of business here tonight. But if the Hound Dogs hang on and beat Marshfield and Catholic knocks off Mount Vernon, there's your separation between Mount Vernon and Cassville. Aurora would jump Mount Vernon. Cassville would secure the number 1 seed. But the Wildcats have to win the football game tonight for that to happen, and they're locked up in a battle.
Jericho Ferris carrying the ball on first down for Cassville, moves it out to the 30-yard line, picks up about 2.5 yards, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Four minutes left to go before halftime. Cassville leading 14-13. The Wildcats with the ball at their own 30. Sink pitches the ball to Ferris. He's got Kanan leading the way, makes a cutback, and fights his way forward, but he's going to be stopped short of the 35-yard line.
Indians flying to the ball. Nice run there by Ferris. Spin move at first contact. Was able to get another couple of yards. The Wildcats find themselves in a 3rd down here. They need to pick this one up, Sammy. They need to continue this drive and get some points on the board here.
It'll be 3rd down and nearly 3 to go from the Cassville 34-yard line. Time starting to become a factor here. 3 minutes left to go before halftime. And Sink looking to throw. Underneath, the catch is made by Reese out at the 44-yard line, and that's good for a Wildcat first down. That time Drake Reese just simply a down across the middle. Hauls in the reception and moves the chains for Cassville.
Well, good play call right there. You had Reese on the slant. You also had Ferris leaking out of the backfield. Kind of an option there for Sink. If the slant is covered, you dump it out there in the flat to Ferris. Reese cleared the linebacker. The ball was thrown. Great job picking up that first down.
So on first down, running the ball, and Jericho Ferris blasts through a hole up the middle, and if not for a jersey tackle by one of the Seneca defenders, would have been gone down the middle of the field. But somebody grabbed a hold of a handful of his shirt and drug him down from behind after a 9-yard gain.
Yeah, nice hard run that time by Ferris right at this Indian defense.
So 2nd down and 1 for Cassville. We're down to 2:29 left to go here in the first half. Cassville leading 14-13. Sink looking to throw. He's got Reese, one-on-one coverage, throws it out in front, and Reese could not catch up. He had coverage provided by Sebastian Middick, but Reese had gotten behind Middick. Middick was staying stride for stride with him right off of his hip, and the pass a little too far out in front for him, and that's only the second incomplete pass Hayden Sink has thrown tonight, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 1 for the Wildcats.
Yeah, 2nd and short right there. That allows you to take a shot downfield. 3rd manageable right here.
So Sink going to run it himself, fakes the handoff, picks up the first down inside the 45, down to the 44. He needed 1, he got nearly 3, and the Wildcats move the chains again. The Wildcat first down brought to you by Superior Metal. They're online at superiormetalsalesinc.com, or you can give them a call, 888-364-9527. Sink now with 20 yards unofficially on 5 carries, and we're down to 2 minutes left to go here before halftime. As the drive started back at the Cassville 27, they moved it to the Seneca 44. Brett Cooper comes wide to the left. They've got Reese in the slot. Sink rolling that direction. Has to throw across his body. He's got Reese wide open down at the 25 and nearly come up with a miraculous one-handed grab. The ball was thrown behind him. He was able to turn around and got a hand on it, but couldn't pull it back into his body.
Wow. Tough play right there. Reese is not happy that he didn't come in with that. It would have been a pretty spectacular catch, reaching it back with his left hand to try to haul it in. And the Wildcats will go at it again on 2nd down.
2nd down and 10 from the Seneca 44. 1:43 now left to go before halftime. Kanan resets on the right side. They're going to run that direction. They give it to Ferris. Ferris dives down to the 41-yard line. They say his knee may have went down at the 42. We'll see where the side judge over there spots it. Looks like it is only going to be a 2-yard pickup, or is it? Nope, they do give him the 41 for a gain of 3.
Clock ticking down under a minute and a half here. I think the Wildcats probably right here, if they gain some positive yardage, they're probably in 4-down territory.
They've got 3rd down and 8 right now. Twins to the left. Sink again rolling that direction. Here comes the pressure. He's got Cooper behind the defense. The catch is made inside the 15. Spins down inside the 10. Still on his feet inside the 5, and it'll be 1st and goal, Cassville.
Yeah, great catch right there. Cooper adjusting to the ball, a little bit underthrown. But he came back to the football, made the catch, drug a tackler about 2 yards inside the 5-yard line. A little roll out to the left. Nice throw right there, and an even better job there by Cooper to come back, make the adjustment on the football in the air.
They're going to spot him down at the 2 with 50 seconds left to go before the break. 1st and goal from the 2-yard line. Cassville comes with the Rhino package. They've got the 3 backs in the backfield. They give it to Ferris. One side step at the line of scrimmage, trying to sneak it in through the end zone, and a late signal. There it is. Touchdown, Cassville.
So nice job there by the Wildcats. As they lost the coin flip, Seneca deferred to the second half, so they will get the football coming out after halftime. Wildcats did a great job of going down and getting points on the board here going into halftime. There's still 40 seconds to go in the half, but the Wildcats needed that score right there, Sammy.
So Drake Reese will attempt the point after for Cassville to extend their lead. Cutter Hicks sets it down on the tee. The kick is up, and it is good. The Wildcat touchdown brought to you by Willis Insurance. For over 130 years, they've been there to help with all your insurance needs. Conveniently located on the square in Cassville and also in the Bridgeway Plaza in Shell Knob. 2 locations to better serve the area. Call the Cassville office at 847-3300 or call the Shell Knob office at 858-3747. The Wildcat Extra Point brought to you by the Barbecue Station. Located at 900 Main on the north side of the Cassville Square, just north of the square. The sweet smell of midday on Main Street in downtown Cassville, all courtesy of the barbecue station. Call them for all your catering needs at 847-0470. 21-13, Wildcats lead the Indians with 41 seconds now left to go here in the first half.
Well, again, nice job there going down and getting points on the board in that drive. And again, the Wildcats mixing in the run and the pass to work their way down the field.
10-play, 73-yard drive. Took a little over 4 minutes off the clock. And Drake Reese now to kick it away. The Wildcat kickoff brought to you by Baywash Car Wash. A clean car is a happy car, and that makes you feel good. They've got the IQ Soft Cloth Automatic. It features that custom wash technology that gives you the perfect wash every time. Reese drives this one high and deep, and it will go out the back of the end zone again for a touchback. So Seneca will have the ball at their own 20 with 41 seconds left to go before the break. So after Seneca had went back-to-back to take their first lead of the night, Cassville scores on back-to-back drives to regain the lead and then extend the advantage. It's 21-13 right now, Wildcats on top. But we've seen Seneca score on one play, so there's more than enough time if the defense is not on its toes to get some points on the board, and they will try to keep that from happening. Play comes in from the sidelines. And Stevens will operate from the shotgun. He's got trip receivers to the right, one man off to the left. Pass is thrown to that man underneath, and the catch is made by Middick over there on the Seneca sideline at the 29-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd down and 1.
A good throw, good catch, right at the sideline. And that's what you get. A lot of times you get those heads-up throws from a senior quarterback. He knows he needs to stop the clock, and he knows he needs to move the ball down the field.
Same formation. Again, he's looking to Middick over there on the Seneca sideline. And again, the throw and catch by the Indians out across the 35 to the 36 for a gain of 7.
Well, the Wildcat defensive backs giving a lot of cushion on the edge to these wide receivers, and the Indians working their way down the field, just running routes right in front of them.
They pick up a first down. Now they're going to run the football. Stevens started to pitch, and then he tucks it under his wing and races out to the 40-yard line to pick up 4 yards.
Oh, nice job right there. Dunker on the tackle, and the Indians are going to burn a timeout here with 23 seconds to go until halftime.
Timeout on the field is brought to you by Security Bank of Southwest Missouri. Any bank can cash checks, accept deposits, and make loans, but the distinguishing factor between banks is the level of service to their customer. Whether it's a loan decision or the processing of your bank statement, all the decisions and services at Security Bank are generated by their talented local bank staff in a prompt, fair, and professional manner. Security Bank of Southwest Missouri, member FDIC. 22.9 seconds left here in the first half. Cassville leading 21-13. Indians with the ball, 2nd down and 7 at their own 40-yard line. Coach McFarland and his offensive staff talking things over. Coach Parnell out there with his defense. Cassville's been giving up some yardage here, but keeping everything underneath and in front, and that's kind of what you need to do right now and try to get these final 20 seconds off the clock and get into the locker room with the lead.
Yeah, whatever it takes to keep the Indians off the scoreboard right here going into halftime.
So the Seneca Indians now have switched and put the trio of receivers over on the left side. And Stevens with time throws down the slot. The catch is made at the Cassville 45. A missed tackle at the 40. Receiver still on his feet inside the 25. And the catch made by Ackerson, his second catch of the night, takes it all the way down to the Cassville 22. And that is not what you wanted to see if you're a Wildcat fan.
Yeah, another timeout by the Indians, but just 3 receivers running down the same side of the field, and there's just not enough people over there to cover them all, and Stevens picks out the one that's open, delivers a nice throw right in stride, and a huge chunk of yardage picked up there on the last pass play.
38 yards on the completion to Ackerson, and it's 1st and 10 Indians at the Cassville 22, and there's still 13 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. Tonight's second quarter brought to you by Roark Diesel. They've been providing Cassville and the surrounding area with a huge selection of diesel performance products since 2006. You can find them online at roarkdiesel.com or give them a call at 847-6560. That's 847-6560. Bring your diesel to Roark Diesel on Highway 37 just north of Cassville. Stevens has got a perfect night going so far. He's 6 for 6 for well over 150 yards. He's also thrown 2 touchdown passes. He's closing in on 200 yards passing here in the first quarter, or the first half. First and 10 Indians. Trip receivers this time to the left. Cassville showing blitz. Now they back out of it. Stevens has got time to throw. Cassville only rushing 3. Stevens underneath. The catch is made by Ackerson down at the 10-yard line. But right there immediately to drop him is the Cassville defense. It is good for a first down, though, and it'll be first and goal Indians, and they're going to use their final timeout of the half.
5 seconds to go in the half. No timeouts remaining. Indians have a couple of options right here. They can run the kick team out, try to pick up 3, or they obviously have time for a play, probably just one play, but it better go to the end zone or they're going to run out of time. So we'll see what they do coming out of the timeout right here.
Timeout on the field is brought to you by Security Bank of Southwest Missouri. Everyone has debit cards and ATMs, mobile banking, but it's Security Bank of Exeter, Wheaton, and Cassville. You sit across from a neighbor and a decision maker. Security Bank, all the newest banking features with the same hometown service. Security Bank of Exeter, Wheaton, and Cassville, member FDIC. Wildcats hanging on to a 21-13 lead here, but Seneca first and goal from the 10 with 5.2 seconds. Like you said, if they manage things, and I mean you would have to be precise and perfect to be able to run 2 plays.
Well,
so they're probably just going to get the one shot at it here.
And let's look at this. The Indians started this drive on their own 20 with 41 seconds in the half. They've worked their way down the field with 5 seconds remaining to the 10-yard line. So they've done a masterful job getting down the field here.
Yeah, you've had 2 or 3, actually 3 completions of 10 yards, and then the big one that took almost 40 yards of the field up with that one toss down the middle. A couple of missed tackles in on that one as well. And now Coach Parnell calling for a timeout as he wants to make some adjustments and substitutions here as he got a look at what the Indians set up offensively. So now he'll make his adjustments, and of course Seneca's going to be over there making the tweaks to theirs as well. This is where the old chess match comes into play. Cassville trying to hang on to that 8-point lead here with 5 seconds left to go before halftime. We remind you to stick around for the Shoemaker Tire halftime show. We'll be looking at the first half stats from tonight's ball game. Turned out to be just a gorgeous evening. We could have used some of that rain, though, from Hurricane Delta. Now, we didn't need the 15 to 20 inches that they're getting down there on the Gulf Coast, but it would have been nice to get an inch or 2 out of it, but it looks like most of that rain's going to stay south and east of us. So we're going to have to wait a little while before we get any of that moisture. All right, both teams back out on the field. First and goal from the 10. Seneca comes in double tight with twin receivers in the slot. Stevens looking to the opposite side of the field. Now he throws back across the grain, and he overthrows the intended receiver out the back of the end zone, and that will do it. Stevens with the second and third option in his checkoffs there, and by the time he got the ball in the air, they did not have enough time to even think about running another play. It was going to be a touchdown or nothing, and that's exactly what happened. The pass sailed over the head of the receiver, and we have reached intermission here at Wildcat Stadium.
Well, nice job defensively right there as you saw the Wildcats call that timeout. Kind of reset themselves, kind of coaching that defense up a little bit. Great job covering up those receivers. And sometimes it gets tough to throw the football when you're that close to the end zone because you don't have a lot of field to work with. Stevens trying to go over right to the back line of the end zone. The ball a little overthrown. Wildcats, good job forcing that high throw, and they'll go into the locker room with the lead.
21-13, Cassville leading Seneca here at halftime. We'll be back with the Shoemaker Tire halftime show. You're listening to Big 8 Conference Football here on the Talon Network. Cassville, we are at halftime. The Shoemaker Tire halftime show is underway. Shoemaker Tire, family owned and operated in Golden, Missouri, serving customers in southwest Missouri and northwest Arkansas since 1961. Looking at the scoring summary from the first half, 7:52 left to go in the opening quarter. Cassville got on the board first on a 29-yard run from Zach Kanan. PAT by Drake Reese made it 7-0 early on for Cassville, but Seneca on the first play after the kickoff, an 80-yard pass from Lance Stevens to Sebastian Middick, and the extra point tied the score at 7. Seneca wasn't through with 10:57 left to go in the first half. A 36-yard pass from Stevens, this time to Nick Arrowsmith, and a bad snap on the extra point try had a failed conversion, and it was 13-7, Seneca with the lead. But Cassville broke back with 7:59 left to go in the first half. An 8-yard run from Jericho Ferris that capped off a 7-play, 68-yard drive, and the PAT by Reese gave the Wildcats the lead 14-13. And then with 41 seconds left to go in the half, a 10-play, 73-yard drive finished off on a 2-yard run from Ferris, his second touchdown of the half. And the PAT by Reese makes it 21-13. Wildcats with the lead here at the break.
Well, good job by the Wildcats to take the lead going into halftime. Crazy half right there. As the Wildcats doing a great job. Opening drive, go down, score a touchdown, and then immediately get hit right in the mouth, 80-yard score. And then the Indians kind of took over for a little while in the football game, really kind of dominating that line of scrimmage. Wildcats find a way to bounce back, score the last 2 touchdowns in the half. But we got some things to discuss in there in the locker room here, and we'll see the adjustments when they come out to start the third quarter. The Indians will get the football, so this Wildcat defense will be on the field and see what kind of answers they have for this Indian attack.
Role models are more important than ever in today's society. You can serve as a role model for others the next time you display good sportsmanship at a high school athletic event. Good sports are winners and are also vital to preserving our fine sports traditions. So the next time you attend a sporting event, remember to be a good sport and help rekindle the spirit of citizenship. Sportsmanship reminder brought to you by Access Family Care. Access Family Care has locations in Cassville, Neosho, Aurora, Mount Vernon, and Joplin. Wildcat football also brought to you in part by Sports World on the square in Cassville. If you're needing Letterman's jackets, maybe you're looking for in-stock, local sports athletic clothing, maybe you're just needing some screen printing and embroidery done on jackets, uniforms, caps, and more. Sports World can take care of all of those needs. They're at 709 Main Street on the square in Cassville. Give them a call, 417-847-5366. Also on the square in Cassville, it's Tomlin's Jewelry and Gifts. If you're looking for a special jewelry item or for gift, they've been doing it right for over 55 years. Tomlin's Jewelry on the square in Cassville, bringing you tonight's football game. Cassville on top of Seneca here at the break, 21-13. We're going to step aside and be back with the first half stats and also look at some other scores around the Big 8 Conference here in week number 7. You're listening to Big 8 Football here on the Talon Network. Sammy Clapper and Jeremy Marple back with you here at halftime. Todd Speakman alongside, running the camera for us on CassvilleWebTV.com. Tonight's halftime show brought to you by Shoemaker Tire. People you can trust for tires. You can visit them online at ShoemakerTire.com or give them a call, 417-271-3490, or drop by Shoemaker Tire, Highway 86 in Golden, Missouri. 21-13, Cassville with the lead over Seneca here at halftime. Looking at the stats from the first half, the Seneca Indians carried the ball 15 times for 68 yards. But the Indians were 7 of 8 through the air for 190 yards and 2 touchdowns. Total yardage, 258 for the Indians in the first half. They picked up 9 first downs, did not turn the ball over. They were penalized twice for 10 yards and punted once for 32 yards. Cassville carried the ball 23 times for 111 yards. The Wildcats 5 of 8 through the air for 105 yards. A total of 188 yards of offense for the Wildcats in the first half. They picked up 10 first downs. Cassville did not turn the ball over. They were not penalized, and they punted once for 23 yards in the first 2 quarters. Leading ball carrier for the Indians here at halftime is Dane Napier, as he has carried 6 times for 31 yards. Lance Stevens, the quarterback for the Indians, has 3 carries for 23 yards. But looking at the receiving for the Indians, and that's where most of the damage has been done here in the first half, Sebastian Middick has 3 catches for 96 yards and a touchdown. It is Nick Arrowsmith, 1 catch for 36 yards, and that was good for a score. And then Connor Ackerson has 3 catches for 58 yards on the night. For Cassville, they were led by Jericho Ferris, as he's got 47 yards on 11 carries and 2 touchdowns. Zach Kanan has 45 yards on 8 carries and a touchdown. Hayden Sink has 20 yards on 5 carries. Sink has completed 5 of 8 passes, 3 of those going to Drake Reese for a total of 44 yards. Killian Barbie has a catch for 22 yards, and Brett Cooper has 1 catch for 39 yards in the first half. So who would have thunk it that 2 teams that traditionally run the football a lot, but half of Cassville's yardage and nearly 2/3 of Seneca's yardage here in the first half has come through the air.
Yeah, Seneca got about 70 of that there on that last drive before halftime. But when you're not having a lot of success running the football, guess what? You may have to try to throw it. And both of these teams, they're running it a little bit. They're not having a whole lot of success running the football, but both sides having a little more success throwing the ball tonight. So it's going to be interesting to see the second half of this game, see if they both sides air it out, or if they try to get back and do what they want to do, which is run the ball first. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here in the second half.
Other scores around the Big 8 tonight. The Aurora Hound Dogs leading Marshfield 20-0. Mount Vernon and Catholic have gone to halftime, and there's a scoreless battle between the Irish and the Mountaineers. Nevada's putting it on East Newton late in the first half, 46-0, the Tigers over the Patriots. Kearney is blasting Reed Spring 35-0, and that game has already moved into the second half. Of course, they kicked off at 6 o'clock. We talked about that in the pregame. Kearney, a replacement for McDonald County, as Reed Spring was supposed to play the Mustangs tonight, but McDonald County couldn't play, so Kearney came down, and they moved the game time up so Kearney doesn't have to get back to Kansas City at 3 or 4 in the morning. And Kearney right now winning 35-0, so that game's moving right along, and it's going to have a running clock unless Reed Spring can put some points on the board in the second half. Low-scoring game down at Hollister between Rogersville and the Hollister Tigers. Hollister leading right now 6-3 late in the first half. And halftime, Webb City over Nixa 14-0, and it doesn't really matter what the classifications say. Webb City can find a way to play against just about anybody.
Well, when they've got good players and they've got great coaching. That's a combo for success right there, and it's just year after year you see Webb City doing this, and Nix is a really good football team this year.
Yeah, number 2 in Class 6, Webb City number 2 in Class 5.
Right, Webb's playing up a classification, and so it's going to be interesting to see how that one ends up, because Nix has got firepower, and we'll just have to see how it goes, but. The two games that are really we need to pay attention to are the Aurora Marshfield game and that Mount Vernon Catholic game, as far as it pertains to our district. So it's going to be. I'm anxious to see how those two shake out.
Yeah, because going into tonight, Cassville had the district lead, but Mount Vernon was right behind them, and then Aurora was in third. And if it stayed that way at the end of the season, Mount Vernon would jump Cassville because they've got the head-to-head win over them. So Cassville hoping that Aurora can somehow squeeze in between themselves and Mount Vernon to take that head-to-head rule out of the play.
Well, things have to go. Number one, Cassville's got to win this football game. Aurora needs to win and Mount Vernon needs to lose. I mean, that's essentially how that's going to happen. So we'll see. Here we go.
And the big thing is this year with the district, it's only a 6-team district this year, so you have to get one of the top 3 seeds to get a home game in the first round. And the top 3 have pretty good separation between themselves and the bottom 3 unless something crazy happens here in the final 3 weeks. So that's looking good. But if you get that number 1 seed, you get home field all the way through districts.
Exactly, and that's what you're looking for. Your eye is on the number 1 seed. You can stay home, play in front of your home fans. And that's what the Wildcats are shooting for. But like I said, Cassville's got to take care of business tonight, first and foremost, and finish off the Seneca Indians, and they are not going to go away easy.
21-13, Cassville with the lead here at halftime, and the two teams going through their warm-ups as we get set to start the second half. That'll do it for tonight's Shoemaker Tire halftime show. Over 50 years of taking care of their customers like no one else. Shoemaker Tire, Highway 86 in Golden, Missouri. Call 417-271-3490 or find them online, shoemakertire.com. We'll step aside and be back with the start of the third quarter. Wildcats lead the Indians 21-13 here at the half. You're listening to Big 8 Football here on the Talon Network. Back at Cassville, the Wildcats leading 21-13 as we get set to start the second half. Tonight's third quarter brought to you by J&M Pallet Company. With over 15 years of experience, they specialize in new, used, and custom-built pallets. Jeff and avid Wildcat supporters backing the Wildcats all the way. In God we trust is their motto at J&M Pallet Company. Call 847-6732. That's 847-6732 for all your pallet needs. Cassville with touchdown runs from Jericho Ferris, 2 of them, matter of fact, and another touchdown run from Zach Kanan has the 21-13 lead over the Indians as we get set to start the third quarter of play. Both of Seneca's touchdowns coming through the air, an 80-yard strike to Middick and a 36-yard touchdown pass to Aerosmith have accounted for the 2 scores for Seneca. And we move to the second half, and Seneca will get the football to start the third quarter. They won the toss, and they will be getting the football to start quarter number 3. They deferred their option to the second half. And it looks like Ackerson, along with, who else is going back there? They change every time. They keep They keep announcers and PA guys busy because it seems like there's new guys back there returning kicks every time. It looks like Middick is back there along with Ethan Fritchie. And Drake Reese set to kick it away. The Wildcat kickoff brought to you by Baywash Car Wash. Clean car's a happy car, and that makes you feel good. And Fritchie's going to return this one from the 1-yard line, and he brings it out across the 20, but will not make it to the 25 before he is brought down.
Good coverage there by the Wildcats. Line drive kick. Return. Looked like Schellenberger on the play there. So here comes this Wildcat defense, and we'll see what they come out here with here in this third quarter.
Seneca scored touchdowns on their first 2 possessions of the night, but then they had to punt. They were moving the ball, but time expired on them right before halftime. Cassville goes with a 4-man front to start the second half, and Seneca goes unbalanced. They have a slot and a receiver off to the right side. They split the backfield behind Stevens, and he will hand the ball off. A little crossbuck action. Jackson Graham gets the call, and he is brought down by Kanan after a gain of about 3 or 4 yards.
The Wildcats come out in a 4-4 defensive set, 4 down linemen, 4 linebackers. They've got a safety deep in Drake Reese and a couple of corners out there. So Wildcats getting several linebackers involved here early in this third quarter.
It is a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 6. The ball setting at the Seneca 28-yard line. Just underway here in the second half. Cassville leading 21-13. Indians now go twins to the left side. They keep defenses on their toes. They give you a lot of different looks in their formations. Stevens fakes the handoff, going to run it himself, and he pushes across the 30 out to the 31. Picks up about 3, and it'll bring up 3rd down and nearly 4.
And another nice job there by the Wildcats. Middle linebacker Zach Kanan had to come off the field. His helmet came off on the first play from scrimmage. Schellenberger in, and might have been in on that tackle right there. Kanan back on the field now. Third down right here. Wildcats would love to have the football back.
Seneca 2 for 3 on 3rd down conversion tries back in the first half. This is their first attempt to convert a 3rd down here in the second half. 3rd down and a long 3 from inside their own 31. Stevens is wanting to throw. He fires underneath, and it goes in and out of the hands of Jericho Ferris. He read the pass play perfectly and stepped in the passing lane, but had the ball go through his hands, and it comes up incomplete.
Jericho Ferris had end zone on his mind right there. Great job of getting out in the flat. The ball goes right through his arms. Hands to his helmet. He knows what he had right there. It would have been a definite touchdown for this Wildcat defense. Wildcats force the Indians to punt the football away here. Good job nonetheless.
Stevens in to kick it away. Cooper back at his own 30, awaiting the punt. A low snap, pressure coming from the side, but Stevens gets the kick away. A line drive kick this time, gets it to spiral and rolls inside the 35, stops short of the 30. So Cassville with decent starting field position. Looks like they'll start at about their own 32.
Well, exactly what the Wildcats needed to do there coming out after halftime. Little different defensive look, and it worked.
So Seneca forced to punt on their first possession of the second half, and Cassville takes over. Wildcat football at their own 32, 1st and 10. Reese and Cooper split out wide to the right. Cassville running the ball on 1st down. Jericho Ferris gets the call. Quick hitter out across the 35, out to the 37, maybe the 38. And they're going to put him down at the 38 for a pickup of nearly 6 yards.
Yeah, straight ahead with Ferris right there. He got down low behind those pads and just kept those legs moving. Good strong run by Jericho Ferris.
So 2nd down and 4 now facing Cassville. And Sink gives the ball to Ferris once again. This time he runs into a wall of defenders right as he crosses the 40. They're going to give him progress, though, to the 41 for a pickup of 3, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, another nice run there by Ferris. Going to bring up 3rd and about 1 here. Wildcats been pretty good in short yardage.
On 3rd and short, Quarterback Hayden Sink keeps it and carries it himself, and the pile pushes forward out to the 42, and he'll pick up the first down. The Wildcat first down brought to you by Superior Metal Sales, first in custom ag buildings. You can find them on Facebook or YouTube, and then call for a free quote.
Short yardage, quarterback sneak. Good job by that offensive line. Hayden Sink tucking in right behind them.
Wildcats picking up their 11th first down of the night, and they've got it at their own 43-yard line. Ball is pitched back to Ferris. Kanan leading the way. Ferris right through the defense, across the 50 and down to the 45-yard line. Boy, he just like kicked it into another gear when he saw Kanan push the corner away. He raced across the 50-yard line and down to the 45 and picked up another Wildcat first and 10.
Yeah, just a toss sweep around the left edge near the Wildcat sideline, and you're exactly right. He just shot through there very quick, also leading the way out there, wide receiver Cooper, and a big gain. Nice job.
Pick up at 12 yards into Seneca territory. They give the ball to Ferris again, and Ferris running hard inside the 35, takes it down to the 33-yard line. Another first down for Cassville.
Yeah, it's the Jericho Ferris show right here to start this offensive drive in the third quarter, and running very hard, as he always does, but he's got a sense of urgency in the way he's running the football right now, Sammy.
He had 47 yards at halftime. He's got 79 as he's picked up 30 yards on his first 4 carries of the second half. First and 10 Wildcats at the Seneca 34. Again running the football, and this time bouncing off of defenders, keeping the legs churning. That's the quarterback Sink, and Sink fights his way down to the 28 as he is able to pick up 6 yards on first down. It'll bring up second down and 4.
Yeah, just the option game there. Fake to the fullback, and right around the right edge, Sink goes, and just pulling tacklers along with him. Strong run.
7.5 left to go in the third quarter. Cassville leading 21-13. Wildcats moving the football. Started back at their own 32. They've got it down to the Seneca 28. Second down and 4. Kanan gets the call, and he takes it right up the middle, but is dropped shy of the 25-yard line. It's going to be a small gain, and it'll bring up third down.
Yeah, the Indians starting to bring that defense, really stack it in the box there. Put a lot of tacklers in the way. And Kanan taking on that contact, but managing to work his way down the field.
So third down and 2 for Cassville. They've already converted once on this drive. They've got Moeller and Cooper out wide to the left, and they give the ball to the first man through, and the surge and second effort, a flag comes out. The Wildcats have enough yardage for the first down. Now we got to see what the penalty flag's all about.
Well, Ferris ran the ball hard, got down on the ground, and one of the Indian defenders just tried to take his head off, grabbing that face mask. Really twisted Ferris up, but the official's right there on it. Going to be another 15,
Be a 5-yarder.
Looks like the 5-yard variety. Not sure the punishment fit the crime right there.
So that'll take it down to the 17. And it'll be first down Cassville. The Wildcat first down, once again, brought to you by Superior Metal Sales. Give them a call for a free quote, 888-364-9527. Commercial and farm steel buildings. Now we've got movement, and this one may go against the Wildcats. Cassville is yet to be flagged tonight, but they're going to get backed up 5 yards after a false start.
When you're moving the football down the field, Sammy, you don't like negative yardage plays, and penalties fall in that category. They just picked up a penalty against the Indians, and now the Wildcats return the favor.
So first and 15 from the Seneca 22. Cassville leading 21-13. And Sink gives it to Kanan. Big hole around the left end, and Kanan powers his way down to the 15-yard line. Looks like they're going to say his knee touched down back at the 16. He's able to pick up about 6 yards.
Yeah, shot through that line of scrimmage, and Kanan took on 3 Indian defenders right there head on. Tough run there by Kanan.
Well, after they spot the football, it's not as favorable as I thought. It's a gain of only 5 to the 17. It'll bring up second down and 10. Play comes in from the sidelines. Cooper and Reese split out wide to the right. Ferris and Kanan split behind Sink, tight end to the left side. They pitch the ball to Ferris. He runs to the wide side. He's got Kanan leading the way. Makes a nice cutback, but then is tripped up from behind on a really nice tackle. Good effort there by Lincoln Renfro, a sophomore. He did not give up on the play after Ferris run by him, but he dove and got the foot of Ferris and knocked him off balance for a gain of only 7 down to the 10, and it'll bring up 3rd and 2.
Yeah, Renfro might have saved a touchdown right there. Ferris broke off the kickout block from Kanan, tried to weave his way out towards the sideline. Renfro was able to just get a hold of that back foot and trip him up.
So 3rd and short, and power football, and around the end goes Sink, and he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Cassville. There was a big pile right at the line of scrimmage, and Sink faked the handoff, tucked it under, and around the corner he goes, and he finds pay dirt for the Wildcats to extend their lead.
Powerful run. Sink drug a couple of tacklers on into the end zone. The flow of the play going around the left edge. Sink just took it back around the right side, and just powerful running once again out of Sink to cross that goal line.
12-play drive, and Sink takes it the final 10 yards for the score, and now Drake Reese to attempt the point after, and he hooks this one wide to the left, so a rare miss from Drake Reese. Cassville Touchdowns brought to you by Willis Insurance. If you're at the lake, come on in and see the folks at Willis Insurance in Shell Knob at the Bridgeway Plaza. For auto, home, health, life, and commercial insurance, call their Shell Knob office at 858-3747. And the Wildcat Extra Point Try brought to you by the Barbecue Station. Get your bib on at the Barbecue Station. The best Texas-style barbecue served right here in the Ozarks, 900 Main, just north of the Cassville Square.
Well, the third quarter starting off well for the Wildcats. Come out almost looking like they've got a sense of urgency. The defense getting a 3 and out, and now the offense taking the ball down, getting into the end zone. So really nice job coming out after halftime for the Wildcats to separate themselves, create a little cushion there between themselves and the Seneca Indians.
Even though the extra point failed, it's still 27-13. Cassville with the lead, and now Drake Reese to kick it away. The Wildcat kickoff brought to you by Baywash Car Wash. With the all-new IQ Soft Cloth Automatic, features custom wash technology that gives you the perfect wash every time. Baywash Car Wash in Cassville. We've got another new return man back there for Seneca. That's Jackson Mars, but they kick it away from him, and it looks like Fritchie's going to let this one bounce in the end zone for a touchback.
Yeah, nice job there, Reese. I know he missed the extra point, hooked it to the left, but he drove that football nearly to the fence on the other side of the track. This time he kicks off and hooked it a little bit left as well, so a little something maybe in the footwork right now for Reese.
5 minutes left to go here in quarter number 3. Tonight's third quarter brought to you by J&M Pallet Company with the motto In God We Trust. Remember, during the third quarters of your life, praise God whether you win or lose and give Him the victory. Phone Jeff for all your pallet needs at 847-6732. That's 847-6732. First and 10 Indians at their own 20-yard line. Stevens up under center. He hands off left tackle. Ball carrier is hit hard right as he gets to the line. Tries to bounce off first contact and pick up extra yardage, but he only gains 1. And that was Graham on the carry, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 9.
Well, nice job there by that Wildcat defense. What the Wildcat defense does not want to do right here is allow the Indians to score quickly in this drive. If the Indians score, they want to really milk that clock, and they can't afford to have a quick strike right here. So the Wildcat defense really got to step up.
Seneca breaks huddle. They send a pair of receivers out wide to the left. Cassville still with the 4-4 defense against the Seneca offense. Stevens wanting to throw. He's got a little time, and he launches one, and he's got a man open. And again, it is the receiver, Middick, and he is going to go for another touchdown. Second time tonight, Cassville has been burnt on that play.
Well, we just talked about that. And maybe I shouldn't have said anything, Sammy, because the next play, over the top and into the end zone, another huge pass play by the Seneca Indians. Now they're right back in this ball game.
An 80-yard touchdown to Middick in the first half, a 79-yard touchdown to Middick here in the second half. And the Indians are back to within a single possession. It's 27-19 right now. The Indians have failed on an extra point try, and they're going to go for 2 to try to get that missed extra point back right here. Stevens fakes left, goes back to his right, wants to throw, and he's got a man open, and the catch is made by Graham. So the two-point conversion is good, and it's a 6-point lead for the Wildcats. 27-21 with 3:57 left to go here in the third quarter.
And just like that, the momentum right back to the Indians. Wildcats do have the lead, but you can just feel the swing on a big-time play like that, and then they pick up that two-point conversion. So the Indians right back in this one. 27-21 Wildcats. Cassville getting ready to get the football back here.
Boy, Middick's having a night. He's got the 2 long touchdown catches, 175 yards on 4 receptions tonight and 2 scores. Tonight's third quarter brought to you by J&M Pallet Company. They repair used pallets, build and design new and custom pallets. During this game and the games to come, Jeff reminds team members that through God all things are possible. Phone J&M Pallet Company at 847-6732. That's 847-6732. Well, they've had a 1-play 80-yard scoring strike and a 2-play 80-yard drive on that 79-yard pass from Stevens to Middick. Reese and Cooper back at their own 20 awaiting the kick of Thiel. And Thiel kicks a little bounder down the middle of the field, and somebody needs to dive on it, and they do back at the 35-yard line. And it looks like, who was that that fell on the football? Was that Ewing? It was. So Jerome Ewing diving on the ball, and the Wildcats will have it at their own 35.
Well, nice job there. Wildcat offense back on the field. The cushion they once had is now gone. So this is an important offensive series in the game.
Cassville up to the line of scrimmage with Reese and Cooper split out wide to the left. They'll run away from that direction. Ferris got the pitch, and the ball comes loose. There's a scramble for it. Cassville ball carrier still on the ground. Seneca says they got the football. I've still not seen an official signal. They're conferring back and forth, and they're going to say Ferris was down, and Cassville dodges a bullet right there. Ferris slow getting up. He's going to head over to the sidelines and be checked out real quick. The officials still conferring out at midfield, but the initial signal was that the Wildcat running back was down before the ball come free, and they're going to talk things over, and now they signal second down. So the Wildcats avoid disaster right there.
Well, Ferris took a shot on that toss sweep. Into the ground he went. Ball came out. Ground help caused the fumble right there, but whew, Wildcats catch a break there.
So second down and 8 after the 2-yard pickup. Seneca fans not happy right now. Cassville fans breathing a sigh of relief. The Wildcats running the ball right into the heart of that Seneca defense. And a flag comes out as now we've got a little jawing going on. And we'll see who this is against. Sink, the ball carrier, takes it out to the 39 for a couple of yards on the carry. And it'll bring up third down. But we've got a personal foul against Cassville as someone letting their emotions get away from them.
You just got to be smarter than that, Sammy. At this point in a ball game, this place on the field, you just can't. You got to be more disciplined than that, Sammy. You just can't get these kind of penalties in a ball game like this at this point in the game.
It's going to move the ball all the way back to the 24-yard line, and it'll be second down and about 25 to go. Cassville's got to get all the way out across the 45 to pick up a first down. So just as you said, if the touchdown didn't get momentum, and it's third down, correction, loss of down on the penalty. So here's Sink. He's going to launch to Reese. One-on-one coverage against Middick. Contact, but no flag, and it is incomplete. And now the Cassville fans are upset.
I think you've got just great coverage by Middick right there. Had that inside position. And, you know, the defender and the receiver have a right to the football, both of them running stride for stride. And Middick just had great position on the play. The Sink wasn't able to get back to the ball.
Well, I just started to say if the touchdown hadn't given Seneca a big momentum boost, as you had pointed out, a near turnover and then a big penalty has really gotten the Indians fired up now. And Now a 4th down situation. Cassville punting from deep in their own territory. The Indians looking to get the ball back with great field position. Ackerson awaiting the kick of Reese. A high kick, but not an extremely long kick. It does venture across midfield. Minnick may have touched that football. Cassville's going to try to recover it. They're going to pick it up and run it in, but will it be touched by Minnick? Minnick was acting like he didn't touch it. The officiating crew is going to have to check this out. Now we got a flag on the Seneca sidelines. And I tell you, we've got a lot of things going on down there on the field. This officiating crew is going to have to try to rein everybody back in.
Well, the punt was high. The Wildcats coverage unit was right down there, right next to Middick. As he was coming up to try to catch the football, it looked like Barbie was right there next to him. Barbie did not interfere with him, didn't touch him. And we're going to see if Middick touched the football. And I tell you what, the Seneca coaching staff drew the flag, but they were livid over there with this officiating crew.
Yeah, one of the coaches came out onto the field, and that's what drew the flag. Besides, I'm not sure what he said. And they are going to signal Seneca football, and they're going to call it down where, well, now they're pointing Cassville.
Yeah, Seneca. So apparently Middick did not touch the ball. Seneca was wanting an interference on the catch call, did not get it.
And Coach Parnell's wanting an explanation from the referee, and he will get it. So the Seneca Indians break huddle, but they're not going to be able to run a play because the referee is over talking with Coach Parnell. Right now it's Seneca football at their own 29 with 3 minutes and 7 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. Cassville leading 27-21. So where I believe it was Hernan Hernandez recovered the ball after it hit the ground, that's where they're going to call it down. The interesting part, the flag that was thrown, we never saw anything get marked off there.
So we just considered it a sideline warning.
So 1st and 10 Indians. And on 1st down, Seneca ball carrier, hogtied and thrown back by Killian Barbie as Jackson Graham was able to pick up a yard, and that is it.
Well, smart play there by Barbie. It's one of those plays where the momentum is stopped, the whistles are blowing, everyone's still on their feet, and Barbie and Graham were moving backwards. If Barbie hangs on and slings him to the ground, he's going to get penalized right there, but you could see him let go as they were falling backwards. So a heads-up play there by Barbie.
So 2nd down and 9 for the Indians. We're down to 2.5 left to go here in the third quarter. Stevens wanting to throw. He's got a man on the far side. He underthrows the intended receiver into double coverage as Moeller and Reese were both there all over the intended receiver, and he tried to thread one right in between them, and it comes up incomplete.
Yeah, Reese came across from a safety position, got a hand in the way. I believe it was Moeller that actually knocked the football down, so really nice job there by coverage with Moeller and also by the protection of the safety, Reese, coming over the top to help out.
So 3rd down and 9 facing Seneca from inside their own 30. Nose of the football just touching the 30-yard line. Big play right here. Stevens from the pistol, brings a man in motion, now resets, high snap, fakes the handoff to Graham, rolls to his left, fires over the middle of the ball, tipped up into the air, and it's caught. Now it's fumbled at the 50-yard line.
Wow.
If he had possession, this is going to be Cassville football. But did he hang on to the ball long enough? Connor Ackerson caught the ball out near the midfield stripe and then got leveled, and the ball came free. But who's going to have it? And they're waving the chains. They're going to call Ackerson down, but he got hit before he went to the turf. And now Coach Parnell
this is unbelievable.
Is
right
going
here.
crazy. And I missed the player that made the hit.
He never, I don't know that he went to the ground. But the ball was certainly out before a tackle was made. Holy cow.
So the Indians running the football on 1st down from the 50. And Lance Stevens gets a yard to the Cassville 49. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 9. We're down to a minute 35 left to go in the third.
Well, Sammy, you and I initially thought that it may be called incomplete, that he didn't have possession long enough, because as soon as he caught it, he took the shot right in the midsection. The ball came out.
Yeah, that's either an incomplete pass or it's a catch and a fumble.
Yes.
There's no completion and down.
Wow.
Because he's still on his feet when he got hit. So 2nd down and 9, twin receivers to the right. Stevens, pressure coming from Barbie, on the move, lets it go, and it's knocked away by Brett Cooper, and Cooper had a few words for Ackerson. There is a flag thrown away from the play.
Great coverage.
And I don't know whether that's from the after play stuff or whether it's before, and it is a procedure call against the Indians.
Well, that was great coverage by Cooper. Ball thrown near the Wildcat sideline. Cooper coming in, diving at the last moment, got his right hand in there to knock the ball away, but a procedure penalty will move the Indians back regardless.
That's the 4th penalty of the night against Seneca for a total of 20 yards, and it'll take it back to the Indian 44-yard line. Down to a minute left to go in the third, in what has been a wild last 3 or 4 minutes of this third quarter. Cassville leading 27-21. Stevens facing 2nd down and 14. He's got time to throw. Throws it underneath. The catch is made at the Cassville 47-yard line, hauled in by Lucas Mars. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and long.
A big 3rd down right here.
Trips to the left side. Stevens looking that direction. Throws down to the the Seneca sideline, trying to hit Ackerson, and it's incomplete, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Now, one of the things, we've seen the big yardage put up by Stevens tonight, but one of the things the Wildcats have not been able to do is put pressure on him. He's been able to stand in the pocket, scan the field, and to deliver the football right there, try to throw a long out route all the way across the field near that Seneca sideline. Just not able to get the completion, and they're going to stay on the field right here.
4th down and 7 at the Cassville 47-yard line. Indians down by 6, 28 seconds left in the third.
They may pooch punt this right here.
Yeah, because Stevens is their punter. They've got 3, but the snap goes over his head. Here comes Chastain. Stevens has nowhere to go. He's hit by Moore. He's dropped back inside the 35-yard line.
Yeah, great job. Unfortunate for the Indians, snap goes over Stevens' head. They were not really in a punt formation, Sammy. Stevens was only about 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Typically in a punt formation, the punter's going to be about 15 yards back there. The center snapped the ball like he was snapping at 15 yards, right over Stevens' head, and Wildcats, here they come and make a tackle, and now the Wildcats going to try to take advantage of some of this momentum.
It's a loss of 14 yards, and they go to Reese up top to catch at the 5. Touchdown, Wildcats!
Great play call right there by Clay Weldy. Go for the throat right here. You get a big play in special teams, and then right down the Wildcat sideline. Deep throw and a great job. Great throw by Sink. Great catch down there around the 5-yard line by Reese, and into the end zone he goes. Great job, and the Wildcats strike again. Big-time play.
A 33-yard touchdown pass, Hayden Sink to Drake Reese. And the Wildcats missed an extra point earlier, so they are going to try to pick up that lost PAT as they're lining up to go for 2. Sink from the shotgun. They shift over Kanan and Cooper along with Reese. Sink running that direction. Now he's wanting to throw, and he dives for the pylon. Did he get in?
Yes.
Yes, he did. The 2-point conversion is good. The official had to kind of scramble out of the way over there, so by the time he got back in to make the call, we had a bit of a delay, but the 2-point conversion successful, and Cassville on top 35-21 now with 13 seconds left here in the third quarter.
Wow. I'll tell you what, this has turned into a football game, Sammy. A lot of excitement. Emotions are high right now on both sides. And I tell you what, the end of this thing is going to be fun. 13 seconds left here in the third quarter. This fourth quarter ought to be something else.
I'm telling you, it's 35-21 right now. Yeah, the way this last 5 or 6 minutes of this third quarter went, if this craziness continues in the final 12 minutes, We've got a lot of stuff we could still see here tonight. So here we go. Cassville right after the bad snap. They recover inside the 35 of the Indians. And they go up top. Reese making the catch on the throw from Sink. And the 33-yard touchdown has given the Wildcats a 2-score lead once again.
Well, and don't count out how big the two-point conversion was right there, Sammy. Take it back to a 2-score football game. And Sink looking for someone to throw the football to. The last second, he decides to run and dove for that far pylon, just able to stay inside it for that 2-point conversion.
Drake Reese to kick it away. The Wildcat kickoff brought to you by Baywash Car Wash. Clean car is a happy car, and that makes you feel good. Reese kicks this one high and deep, and it will bounce into the end zone for a touchback. The Wildcat touchdown was brought to you by Willis Insurance. On the square in Cassville or in the Bridgeway Plaza in Shell Knob. Stop by and get a quote today. And the extra point and the 2-point conversion brought to you by the Barbecue Station, 900 Main, just north of the square in Cassville. Call 847-0470 for your next catered event. The Barbecue Station. So 13 seconds left here in the third. Seneca takes over, trailing 35-21. Cassville stays with the 4-4 defense. Stevens pitches the ball to the left side. And the running back swarmed under by the Cassville defenders. And that was Napier on the carry. He gets a couple of yards, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 8, and that'll be the final play of quarter number 3. So we head to the fourth, Cassville leading 35-21. We'll take a quick break and be back with the final 12 minutes. You're listening to Big 8 Football here on the Talon Network. Back with you here in Cassville. We head to quarter number 4. Tonight's fourth quarter is brought to you by Remington's Place. Remington's Place is a proud sponsor of Wildcat football, and they're open before, during, and after the game. Remington's Place, 209 Highway 76, south of Cassville. Call 847-0368. That's 847-0368. 35-21. The Wildcats with the lead over the Indians. Seneca with the football at their own 22-yard line, facing 2nd down and 8. Cassville scoring on 2 of their 3 possessions in the third quarter. Seneca scoring on 1 of theirs. And the Indians have the ball to start the fourth. Final 12 minutes on the clock. Stevens rolling to his right, throws underneath. Catch made by Middick out at the 31-yard line, trying to turn it upfield to pick up the first down. If he would have just made a quick turn upfield, he would have had first down yardage, but he tried to run around a defender, and I think he may have backtracked far enough to not pick up the first down. We'll see where they spot it. And it looks like they put it down at the 31, and they're going to have to move the chains. Seneca wanting to run a play real quick, but they're going to have to wait for the chains to be reset after the 9-yard gain.
Back and forth game here. The Wildcats on defense, just about 11 and a half minutes to go in the game. 2-score football game.
Split backfield, twin receivers to the right. They give off to Graham. Graham again finds the running. Very tough against the Cassville defense. And that's been the one thing here in tonight's ball game, especially in the second half. Cassville's taken away Seneca's running game and making them go to the air. Now the Indians have had success going to the air, but they're trying to complement the passing game with the running game, and Cassville's shutting down that right now.
Yeah, they really are doing a great job going to that 4-4 look, that 4-4 defense, and really making running tough on the Indians, and that's hard to do sometimes.
So 2nd down and 10 for Seneca. The ball at their own 31. Stevens Sidesteps, throws to Middick, and threw behind the intended receiver. Middick tried to reach back and get it, but couldn't get the hands wrapped around the football. Incomplete pass, and it'll bring up 3rd and 10.
Yeah, 3rd and 10, and we'll see what the Indians want to do right here. And they still have the offense on the field. Of course, their offense may also be their punt team too, as you said earlier, Stevens is the punter for this team.
Down 35-21. Does Coach McFarland gamble here early on in the 4th quarter, facing 3rd and 10 at his own 31? We'll see. Stevens drops back now. Right now they're set up to run a play and see what they want to do here. He throws underneath, and the catch is made out at the 35-yard line. Hauled in over there by Aerosmith. He had that big touchdown catch back in the first half, his first catch here in the second half. So he doesn't try to go deep. He tries to throw underneath, and it's a short gain. It'll bring up 4th down.
Well, my apologies. I had lost track of the downs there. I thought that was 4th down, and may have thought I was crazy talking about the punt team on 3rd down right there. Here is the punt team.
And they set up in a more traditional style as Stevens boots this one high. Cooper calling for a fair catch, comes up at the 35 and hauls it in. So the Wildcats will start the drive right there.
Yeah, good job right there by Cooper. Had to run about 10 yards up the field to catch that punt. And tell you what, that's what you want out of your punt return. Make those catches. Don't let the ball bounce and roll. And probably saved his team about 20 yards of field position right there.
33-yard kick. No return. It'll be 1st and 10 Cassville at their own 35. Wildcats leading 35-21 here. 10 minutes left to go in the football game. Sink is going to keep it himself, fakes to both running backs, and then powers his way out across the 40-yard line, reaches out for an extra yard, maybe 2. And they spot him down at the 42-yard line for a gain of 7. Bring up 2nd down and 3.
Watch for the Wildcats right here to really slow things down, Sammy. Try to shorten this ball game, really milk that clock. Don't be in a hurry. You've got a 2-touchdown lead, 9.5 minutes to go. Nice gain there on 1st down. No need to be in a rush.
Tonight's 4th quarter brought to you by Remington's Place, a proud sponsor of Wildcat football. They're open before, during, and after the game. Give them a call at 847-0368. That's 847-0368. 2nd down and short. Second effort by Canaan's got the 1st down across the 45, out to the 47-yard line. The Wildcat 1st down brought to you by Superior Metal Sales. Find them online at superiormetalsalesinc.com.
Yeah, some power football right there. Canaan trying to go straight ahead. Found some resistance, kind of slid and worked his way down the line of scrimmage, found a little seam there on the right edge, and downfield he went, taking on contact and moving those chains along.
We're down to 9 minutes left to play here in the football game. Cassville on top 35-21. And with the 1st down, Cassville able to, at the very least, take another 1.5 to 2 minutes off the clock.
Breaking the huddle with about 10 seconds on the play clock.
Seneca showing blitz. They've got 8 guys up in the box right now, and they hand the ball to Ferris. Ferris, if he can bust one, and he nearly did, but a good tackle there. Reaching around from behind was Aerosmith and hanging on to Ferris, but he takes it across midfield into Seneca territory, picks up 7 yards, and it'll bring up 2nd down and a long 3.
Yeah, I know where you're going with that, Sammy. When you sell out to stop the run, a lot of times you're able to do that. But if you run blitz or you're really creeping guys along that line of scrimmage, if they're able to get by you, there's nobody left on the other side. So if you're going to sell out to stop the run, you better make sure you stop the run.
So 2nd down and short. Back to the I formation behind Sink. Long snap count. He takes the snap with 2 seconds left on the play clock. Gives it to Ferris again. Around right end he goes, and he picks up the 1st down. Races down to the 40-yard line, gains 7. The Wildcat 1st down brought to you by Superior Metal Sales. For commercial or farm buildings, call Superior Metal Sales, 888-364-9527.
Well, nice job once again. Keep those chains moving. And again, the Wildcats taking their time. Clock ticking under 8 minutes now. 7 minutes and 45 seconds to go here in the football game.
And with that carry, Ferris unofficially goes over 100 yards rushing on the night. He's only been held under 100 yards one time this year. 1st and 10 Wildcats at the Seneca 40. Letting the play clock tick away. We're down to 5 seconds on the play clock. Sink takes the snap with 1 second left, and he gives it off to Ferris. And Ferris, a little quick hitter off the right side, takes it down to the 38, picks up a couple of yards.
Yeah, short gain right there. Clock continuing to run. And right here, it's this point in the games where you really rely on your offensive line, and you're counting on those guys to get a push, get a surge, create some space for these backs, just to eat up clock and keep those chains moving.
2nd down and 8 for Cassville. Moeller and Cooper go wide to the right. Sink again watching that play clock tick away. He's up under center now. Gives the ball to Kanan. Kanan right up the middle he goes. Pushes inside the 35, down to the 34, picks up 4 more yards, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Third down and 3.5 to go for Cassville. They need to get down to the 30-yard line. They're between the 33. Well, they spot him down at the 34. Yeah. Boy, they keep moving the football around on me tonight.
Yeah, that's a solid 4 yards there, and those are I tell you what, third and 4 or 5. Those become more of a challenge, especially if you're trying to run the football.
Cassville 4 of 7 back in the first half on 3rd down conversion tries. Just 1 for 3 so far here in the second half, and they give the ball to Kanan again, and Kanan fights his way down to the 30-yard line and stretches across the 30 to the 29 and picks up a first down.
Great job. Seneca gambled and nearly blew the option up right there. They had defenders in the backfield just as Sink was handing the ball off to Kanan. Kanan, just pure strength right there to pick up that first down.
Superior Metal Sales bringing you that Wildcat first down. Go online to superiormetalsalesinc.com for examples of what they can custom build for you. 1st and 10 with 5:40 now left to play. Cassville on top, 35-21. Wildcats again in no hurry, letting the seconds tick away. Clock is their friend right now. Seneca again showing blitz. They give the ball to Ferris, a big hole around the right end, but a good job at the last moment by one of the Indian defenders, and that was Zane Cotton. And Cotton, he's a senior, been playing since he was a sophomore. He's one of the veterans on both sides of the ball, comes in and makes the stop after a gain down to the 27-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Sammy, the Indians they're selling out at the point of attack, and they're nearly guessing right. If the Wildcats would run a little misdirection right here, maybe some type of bootleg action, I don't think there's anybody on the backside right there that would stop Sink if he bootlegged out around the backside.
Yeah, because they've got all 11 defenders now up within 8 yards of the line of scrimmage right now. It had been about 8, but now everyone's up in the box. And there goes Kanan right up the middle, dragging tacklers along for the ride inside the 20 down to the 19. And that's going to be another Wildcat first down. Power football there from Zach Kanan as he got hit about the 23, and then he took a couple of defenders along with him all the way down to the 19.
Yeah, had one around his waist and just kept those legs churning. And that's what you get. You got a big back, 6'1", 6'2", 215, 220 pounds, and runs with a purpose.
Kanan now 73 yards unofficially on the night on 14 carries, and the clock will continue to roll. 4:25 left to go, fourth quarter. Cassville leading 35-21. 1st and 10 Wildcats at the Seneca 19. Sink takes the snap with 2 seconds on the play clock, gives it to Ferris, and that time a couple of Seneca defenders got into the Cassville backfield. First guy there was Tanner Nesbold, and he forced Ferris to go to his right when he was not wanting to, and his feet came out from underneath him, and it's going to be a loss back at the 21.
Yeah, you just had a couple of defensive linemen just slant right in front of the Wildcat offensive line. They weren't able to pick it up, and Ferris just got down out of self-preservation right there. But that's what I'm talking about. This Seneca defense, they're guessing pretty accurately. They're there. They just hadn't made plays right now.
So 2nd down and nearly 12 to go. Sink running to the short side, and there's defenders again for the Indians to hit the Cassville quarterback. And Cassville fans, along with a couple of coaches, not happy as Sink was thrown to the ground after the whistles sounded, but no flags on the play. Sink was able to fight his way back to the 21 to avoid a loss, but it's going to bring up 3rd and 12.
And I think the Indians are going to call a timeout right here as the clock now at 3:24. 3rd and long for the Wildcats coming up.
Timeout on the field is brought to you by Security Bank of Southwest Missouri. If you want mobile banking, ATMs, multiple branches, all types of loans, and still be able to go in a lobby and see your personal banker, you just described Security Bank of Southwest Missouri. Take time out to look at Security Bank, Cassville, Wheaton, and Exeter, member FDIC. 35-21, the Wildcats with the lead. They've held the ball for nearly 7 minutes. They took over on their own 35 with 10:06 left to play, and we've got 3:24 left here in the fourth quarter. They've got the ball at the Seneca 21-yard line, but they are facing 3rd down and nearly 12.
Well, even if the Wildcats don't score here, Sammy, they've made things really, really tough on the Indians to get a couple of scores. So they've had success in this drive just eating up clock. I mean, this has been a long, long drive for the Wildcats, exactly what they needed to do in this situation.
And if they can keep the ball where it's at right now, they're in Drake Reese's field goal range. So whatever happens here on 3rd down, they can still attempt that field goal, which would make it a 3-possession lead. So Sink pitches the ball to Ferris, going to the short side. He's got Kanan on the block. He's inside the 15, inside the 10, races down the sidelines and picks up a Wildcat first down. 1st and goal, Cassville. Kanan with a great block at the edge. Reese with a great block downfield. And Ferris with the speed takes it down inside the 10, and it'll be 1st and goal, Cassville.
Yeah, toss sweep. Ferris got all the way to that Wildcat sideline and turned it downfield and kind of tight-roped it. Nice job. A little slow to get up. Looked like he landed pretty hard out of bounds over there. Probably on that hip. He's going to be a little bit sore, but he hopped up. Back in the huddle he goes. But a great job right there for Jericho Ferris.
1st and goal from the 7. The Wildcat first down brought to you by Superior Metal Sales. You can find them on Facebook or YouTube and request a free quote. Wildcats running the ball on 1st down. And Zach Kanan takes it to the 5, maybe the 4. Looks like after they unpile the players, he is at the 5 for a gain of 2, and it'll bring up 2nd down and goal.
Right, looks like the nose of the football right on the 5-yard line here.
So 2nd and goal for Cassville. Offensive coordinator Clay Weldy sends the play in the person of Drake Reese. Still 12 seconds on the play clock, so the Wildcats take their time, break huddle, come up to the line. Reese and Cooper go wide to the right. And Sink runs it back to the left. He's got the option, keeps it himself as the end took the pitch man, and nobody was there to pick up the Cassville quarterback. Touchdown, Wildcats.
Great job on the read right there. Fake to Ferris going around the left edge and just made a nice cut and sink into the end zone from 5 yards out, and to really kind of put this one in, no doubt, Sammy. Nice job and a great job by this Wildcat offense, running clock, shortening the game, and ultimately ending up with points on the board.
Now Drake Reese in to attempt the point after. Cutter Hicks calls for the ball, puts it on the tee, and the kick is up, and it is through. The Wildcat touchdown brought to you by Willis Insurance. On the square in Cassville and in the Bridgeway Plaza in Shell Knob. Stop by Willis Insurance and get a quote today. Willis Insurance, your trusted choice insurance agent. Wildcat Extra Point brought to you by the Barbecue Station. The best Texas-style barbecue this side of Dallas, right here in the Ozarks. One taste will put them at the top of your list of favorite places to eat. The Barbecue Station, 900 Main, just north of the Cassville Square. If you've got an event that needs catered, give them a call, 847-0470. 42-21, Cassville with the lead with 2 minutes and 13 seconds left to play. A 14-play, 65-yard drive that took 8 minutes off the clock.
Wow.
And Hayden Sink takes it in from 5 yards out.
Yeah, that's impressive. Exactly what they needed to do. Exactly what they needed to do. Took the air out of the football, drove it down the field, ended up with a touchdown, put this one out of reach. 2 minutes and 13 seconds to go here in the game.
Some other scores around the Big 8. Aurora over Marshfield 26-0 at halftime. We're trying to catch up on that one. 52-0, Nevada all over East Newton in the second half. Rogersville with a 23-12 lead over Hollister as they have come from behind. And it's Webb City 28-0 over Nixa, that game in the fourth quarter as well. Reese now to kick it away. The Wildcat kickoff brought to you by Baywash Car Wash. Come try out the all-new IQ Soft Cloth Automatic. A clean car is a happy car, and that makes you feel good. Reese boots this one, and this one will sail deep into the end zone for a touchback. So Seneca takes over trailing by 3 possessions now with 2:13 left to go.
Well, great second half by this Wildcat football team. Has spread the lead out here, extending the lead, doubling up the Seneca Indians right now, 42-21.
Right now, Cassville looks like they have changed things up a little defensively, expecting a lot of balls in the air right now, so they're going with a 3-man rush as Stevens takes the snap, straight drop. He's got 3 receivers, now 4, throws down the sidelines, and it's out of play. Intended for Middick, but Middick couldn't keep his feet in bounds, and he ended up not being able to catch the football anyway. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Indians. Clock stopped with 2:06 left to go on the incomplete pass.
Yeah, 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers, 4 defensive backs.
3 receivers wide to the right now for the Indians. And Middick all alone over here on the left. Stevens looking that way, but now he has to go to his second option. The pass is caught out at the 30-yard line as the completion to Lucas Mars, and he turns it up the Seneca sideline, is knocked out of play at about the 32 after a gain of 12.
Out of bounds he goes, just under 2 minutes. Chains move.
As soon as they get him set, Seneca snaps the football. Stevens fires one in front of the Seneca bench, and that one's incomplete. Trying to go underneath to Middick, but he couldn't make the diving reception over there along the sidelines. Clock stopped again at 1:54 left to play. Cassville leading 42-21.
Crowd, nice crowd tonight on both sides. Pretty quiet on both sides right now.
Stevens, pocket collapses around him, and he overthrows the intended receiver Middick over there in front of the Seneca bench. He probably wanted to hang on to that just a little longer, but he had Cassville defenders sneaking in on the right and the left, so he had to get rid of the football, and Middick wasn't 100% ready for that one. So 3rd down and 10 now for the Indians.
Definite 4-down territory for the Indians.
Stevens with time. He launches one up top to Mars, and he overthrows the intended receiver, and nearly a one-handed interception by Drake Reese, but the ball goes out of play, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, you saw the play develop right here in front of us, and a nice job Ewing in front, and Reese, the safety, doing his job coming over the top in pass protection. And the Indians going to bring a punt unit on. Minute and 43 seconds to go here, 4th and 10. The Wildcats will be able to. Indians do have 2 timeouts remaining. I don't know why they would stop the clock, but the Wildcats should be able to run the remaining minute 40 off.
Stevens gets a good leg into this one. It bounces at the Cassville 35, takes an Indian roll down to the 30, and it'll be blown dead there.
And Wildcats should come out and take a couple of knees and end this game.
So that ended up after the roll, ends up being a 47-yard kick for Stevens. Wildcats 1st and 10 at their own, looks like 29-yard line is where they're going to put it down. With 93 seconds left to go, and Sink takes a knee, gets the clock going again. The Indians are not going to stop it. In fact, they're already bumping knuckles out there. The 2 teams congratulating each other. Cassville will have to snap the ball one more time, maybe twice, depending on how quickly they get it set. Of course, the play clock is already underway because it's not like it used to be. They wait for the whistle. As soon as that ball is spotted back on the ground, the play clock starts running. We've got 15 seconds on the play clock, so Cassville will have to snap it 2 more times to be able to run out the clock. Under a minute to go, the Wildcats on top 42-21. Cassville going to pick up their 5th win of the year. And they will be back out on the road next week as they head over to East Newton to battle the Patriots before finishing out the regular season here at home against McDonald County. McDonald County did not play tonight, so hopefully they can get everything cleared up down there in Anderson to be able to play that game in week number 9. Sink takes another knee, and there is one more knee, and will do it.
That's a good win right there, Sammy, for the Wildcats. Tight game in the first half. The Indians played very hard. Threw punches right with the Wildcats all through that first half. Cassville coming on in the second half and taking care of business and taking over this football game. 42-21. Really nice job by the Wildcats tonight.
42-21, the Wildcats victorious. They improved to 5-2 on the year. And now they go out on the road next week to East Newton. We'll have coverage of that game right here on the Talon Network. We're going to step aside and then be back with the postgame show. You're listening to Big 8 Football here on the Talon Network. Back with you here at Cassville. The Wildcats defeat the Seneca Indians tonight 42-21. It was 21-13, Cassville with the lead at halftime, and the Wildcats struck first in the second half with 4:54 left to go in the third quarter. A 10-yard run by Hayden Sink, and the PAT was no good, and it was 27-13. The Wildcats with the lead. Then Seneca gets back on the board. 3:57 left to go third quarter. A 79-yard pass from Lance Stevens to Sebastian Middick, and the two-point conversion made it a 6-point ball game. The Wildcats leading 27-21. But then Cassville would score the final two scores of the night on a 33-yard pass from Sink to Drake Reese with 13 seconds left to go in the third to make it 35-21. And then with 2 minutes and 13 seconds left to go, a 5-yard run from Sink, his second rushing touchdown of the night. PAT by Reese gives us our final score. Wildcats 42, Seneca 21, as Cassville picks up a hard-fought, hard-earned victory here tonight over the Indians.
Yeah, no question. Just a great football game. I tell you, it got wild and crazy there towards the end of the third, going into the fourth, and a lot of excitement on both sides, and just a fun atmosphere and fun football game to be a part of. And Wildcats, again, take over in the second half, and they do what they need to do to come away with the victory. And one of the most impressive things was the final drive for the Wildcats. It took all that time off the clock, ultimately ended up in 6 points. But even if it didn't, the Wildcats really kind of eliminated the Indians at that point by taking all that time off the clock. And just an impressive drive and an impressive second half of football for the Wildcats. And this is a good win. Seneca's record's not impressive, but this is a good win for the Cassville Wildcats.
Tonight's broadcast also brought to you in part by Tomlin's Jewelry on the Square in Cassville. If you're looking for a special jewelry item or gift, or maybe you're needing to order your art card or Gold Lance class rings, stop by Tomlin's Jewelry on the northeast corner of the square. They've been doing it right for over 55 years. And Sports World. They've got screen printing, embroidering, sporting goods, school athletic clothing, and trophies, all at Sports World, 709 Main Street in Cassville. Call 847-5366. We're going to take another break and then be back with a visit to Coach Parnell, and also we've got our post-game awards to hand out and go over the final stats for tonight's football game. The Wildcats win at 42-21. You're listening to Big 8 Football here on the Talon Network. Back at Cassville, the Wildcats win at 42-21 tonight over the Seneca Indians. Now time to take our post-game visit with the head coach of the Wildcats, Coach Lance Parnell. It's brought to you by Arvis Bank. They're committed to Cassville, and they're here to support Cassville and the community. Local decisions, local commitment, Arvis Bank, member FDIC. Coach, congratulations. A hard-earned, hard-fought victory here tonight over the Seneca Indians. Pick up win number 5 on the season.
Thank you very much, and it was everything you just said, Sammy, and we will take it.
I know you and I talked about during the Coach's Corner pregame show. Didn't know it's kind of been an up-and-down year for Seneca. They've missed a week because of COVID troubles. They've had some weeks where they haven't looked very good. They've had other weeks where they've looked really good. We were wondering which Indian team would be here tonight. Well, there was a really good team showed up here tonight.
The one I expected to show up tonight's the one that showed up. A very physical football team that, plays extremely hard, well coached, fly to the football. It was a physical Big 8 football game tonight that, how many Seneca Cassville games have we seen just like that one? Just smash mouth back and forth, and you're not comfortable until there's 0 left in the fourth quarter.
We talked about at halftime, Jeremy and I were looking at the stats, and my unofficial stats, two teams that traditionally run the football a lot, but over half of your offense came through the air, and 2/3 of their offense came through the air in the first 2 quarters.
Yeah, we could not stop giving up the big play defensively in the first half. A little frustration there, but I thought our offense did a really nice job of answering and played really, really well in the first half to, take a lead at halftime, but really keep us in the game, because I thought we were doing a nice job up front defensively. We just had a couple coverage breakdowns and a couple missed tackles, and give up some big plays, and kept the game very interesting in the first half.
I know they were throwing a lot of different defensive looks at you. It's not that you weren't able to run the ball at all. You had some decent yardage there in the first half, but had to go through the air a little bit tonight, and boy, your quarterback Hayden Sink and his receivers were working well together.
They really did, our offensive line-wise, we had some shifts and changes go on up front, so we had some new faces, especially on our left side tonight, and I thought those kids stepped in and played it really, really well, and our backs are pretty good, and people are going to try to do what they can to take that away, and Seneca did a nice job of that tonight, especially in the first half. I thought Coach Weldy did a great job of adjusting. I thought Hayden threw the ball really, really well tonight, and our receivers caught the ball real well. Reese had a couple great catches. Hayden scrambles, finds Barbie once on a bit of a busted – it wasn't a busted play, just he got pressured, and, that's just kids making plays, and, man, we needed it tonight.
And then the second half, you kind of go back to what you're known for, running the football. Ferris and Kanan and Sink all doing a great job running the football, carrying the ball, and taking time off the clock when you needed it.
Did, and we did need it. I thought we'd come out, get the stop there to start second half, go down, and, looks like we're going to punch one in. And, next thing you know, we're in a ball game again. It's a 6-point ball game. With a little mishap defensively, and then our offense goes right back to work, stretches it out, and then the drive there to start the fourth quarter, we went on like an 8.5 minute drive. As a defensive coordinator, I really liked that one. Keep us off the field right there, and then our kids, I thought, closed the game out very well.
We talk about all the time about ways to finish games and ways to not finish games, and that was the way to finish the game. You had the lead, took over 8 minutes off the clock, 65 yards, and you not only run all that time off the scoreboard, you punch it in for a touchdown.
We did, and I was really proud of our kids. We had that little series there in the third quarter that got a little chaotic. Thought we got a turnover on a punt, didn't happen that way. Then we think we have a turnover on a fumble, doesn't happen that way. So, there's some momentum shifts there that are all shifting the wrong way, and I was really proud of our kids. We step up right there. We get a stop. Offense gets the ball back, goes right down and scores, to extend that lead again. And then from that point forward, I thought our kids really settled in and played outstanding football.
We talked about they had a couple of long touchdown receptions to add to their yardage, and they threw the ball a ton tonight. And they're throwing the ball a little bit more this year. They got a very talented quarterback that can do that. Coach McFarland's mixed in a lot more passing plays than we've seen out of Seneca in years past. But Cassville's defense forced them to throw the ball a lot tonight because their running game didn't do much at all night long.
No, they had a little success on one drive. They caught us in a little front that we didn't really want to be in. I thought made some good adjustments there. And I thought we really did a good job up front against the run, and that was a big focus for us coming in because they had run the ball very successfully against people leading up to this. We knew that Lance Stevens, their quarterback, very capable and throws the ball really well, and he did that tonight. But I thought once we stopped stepping all over ourselves and shooting ourselves in the foot in the secondary with some blown coverages, settled in, did a nice job. We were where we were supposed to be, started getting a little bit of pressure, I thought the second half especially, I thought we played really well in the secondary.
Yeah, you could really see, like you said, both sides of the football, that third and fourth quarters, the kids really settled in. Even when it got down to a 6-point game, you didn't see a lot of panic. We saw some emotions get away from both teams a little bit tonight, but we didn't see the panic set in, and the Wildcats just stayed the course, kept the business going, and the next thing you know, you're back up by 2 scores, and then that late score made it a 3-possession game.
And that's something that we work toward, I would say talk about, we work on a lot, is things aren't always going to go our way. You're going to face adversity. Whether it be guys out or a stretch like you saw tonight in the football game, that the ball's not bouncing your way and the momentum's on the other side. How are you going to handle that? And, we've talked a lot about mental toughness the last couple of weeks and focus. And our kids regained their focus and showed their mental toughness tonight late in the third quarter and the fourth quarter in the way they finished the ball game.
Yeah, and, of course, it got started before the game even happened tonight. You guys were having to move, as a coaching staff, a lot of pieces around into different positions because you and I meet midweek for Coach's Corner, and there was a lot of things got turned upside down with your starters tonight, but everybody that stepped into those new positions and got shuffled around did a nice job this evening.
It's hit everybody at some point in time, and this happened to be our stretch. I told our kids Tuesday before practice, the quarantines from the contact tracing piece start filtering in for us. First time we'd really had it. We'd had one earlier in the year, but this was the biggest we'd had. And I said, hey, guys, we're going to worry about things we can control. We cannot control this. We can control what happens, how our attitudes in practice, and how we prepare the next guy and how we move forward. And we had a great week of practice. Our kids stayed super focused, and it was literally the next man up. We had some new faces in there. I thought Patrick Dunker, I mentioned earlier, he's just been playing D-tackle for us. He has to go over and go both ways. He played outstanding tonight. Brady Schweer had bounced back and forth from guard to tackle, little center reps at times. He's got a role for us at left tackle. He did a great job. We were missing a weak side defensive end, and, a junior, Michael Morgan, steps up, makes his first varsity start of his career, and, learned a lot in the first half. And I thought he played outstanding in the second half. So, those are just 3 of the kids that stepped up in different roles. Then that doesn't count all the kids we had to jockey around special teams-wise, because we lost some key special teams kids as well. And, I thought my coaching staff did a great job this week of just staying calm, and we're going to coach the kids, and we're going to get them ready to play. And, I thought our senior leadership was outstanding tonight.
Yeah, because people, if they haven't played the game, they don't realize – they think, you just slide a kid over one spot, it's no big deal. But assignments and disciplines become completely different just by moving 4 or 5 feet.
Absolutely. I wish it was that easy, but it's not. And our kids did a great job this week. I've said here many times, that you'll never hear an excuse for me. We got 70 kids on our roster, and we coach them all every day hard from the time we start in July all the way through the season. And it's going to be the next man up. We've been preparing that kid, to step into a role, and those kids did that tonight, and I couldn't be more proud of them.
Well, a huge win tonight over Seneca. Now you're back out on the road for the final time during the regular season. Next Friday, you head over to East Newton to take on the Patriots.
We do, and, I just told my kids, we go on the road. Wherever you go on the Big 8 is not easy on the road. A year ago, we were at home against East Newton, and we're down 7-0 at half. We regained our composure and some focus, ended up going on and winning that ball game. But we've got to continue to prepare. Our big thing this week was we wanted to put 2 weeks in a row together. And I didn't feel like we'd done that this year. I felt like we'd been a bit of a roller coaster ride. We played well last week at Monette. We wanted to come back and play well again tonight, and I think we did that. We want a trend. We want to trend on the way up, and continue to get better each week. And, our next challenge now is to go back on the road against another Big 8 West opponent and play good football again and continue to get better as we move forward.
Yeah, because now you've got 2 weeks left in the regular season. You've moved into first place in the district, and now you control your destiny now, and you can only control what you can control. You worry about what other people do every Friday night when you read the scoreboards after the games are over. So it's just go out and win football games now here through the end.
It is, and at this point, we can work toward control what we do week 8, and then we'll worry about what we can do week 9, and then when we get to week 10, then we'll start looking at district stuff. But right now, it's we've got to continue to get better as a football team. We still have some areas that we can improve. We're going to work on those this week hard, so that we're better week 8 than we were week 7.
Big win tonight. Congratulations, Coach. Appreciate your time, and we'll visit with you again next week.
Thank you, Sammy. I sure appreciate it. Thanks to Wildcat Nation. Great crowd tonight. And Susie and the girls, I love you. I'll be home in a little bit.
Coach Lance Parnell joining us here in the postgame show. It's brought to you by Arvis Bank. Show your school spirit. Get your Wildcat debit card at Arvis Bank in Cassville, member FDIC. We'll take a break and be back to wrap things up right after this. Back with you at Cassville. The Wildcats win at 42-21 over the Seneca Indians. Looking at the final stats from tonight's ball game, first of all for the visitors, Seneca held to just 67 yards rushing tonight on 23 carries, but the Indians completed 13 of 21 passes for 323 yards. Of course, a lot of that coming on those two big long touchdown passes that they completed, one in the first half, one in the second half, and we'll get those individual numbers here in a moment. 12 first downs for the Indians, no turnovers. They were penalized 4 times for 20 yards, and they punted 4 times for a 37-yard average. Cassville, 51 rushes for 249 yards. Hayden Sink completed 6 of 11 passes for 138 yards, 387 yards of offense for the Wildcats. 21 first downs picked up by Cassville tonight. No turnovers. They were penalized twice for 20 yards, and they punted twice for a 34-yard average. Seneca's ground attack was led by Dane Napier, 33 yards on 7 carries. Jackson Graham was held to just 20 yards tonight on 10 carries, and Lance Stevens ran for 14 yards on 6 carries. But through the air, that's where the Indians did the bulk of their damage tonight. Lucas Mars had 2 catches for 21 yards. It was Nick Aerosmith, 2 catches for 40 yards and a touchdown. Connor Ackerson had 4 catches for 78 yards. And what a night for Sebastian Middick, the senior wide receiver. 5 catches, 184 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the night. He had the 80-yard bomb and the 79-yard bomb tonight. And when you catch just 2 that total 150, that's going to add up, or almost 160. That adds up really quick. But a great night for Middick with 184 yards receiving and 2 scores. For Cassville, their ground attack was led by Jericho Ferris, 122 yards on 24 rushes, 2 touchdowns for Ferris. Zach Kanan had 75 yards on 15 carries and a touchdown. Hayden Sink ran for 52 yards on 12 carries and 2 scores. Drake Reese had 4 catches for 77 yards and a touchdown. Brett Cooper had 1 catch for 39, and Killian Barbie had 1 catch for 22 yards on the night. Handing out our post-game awards. First of all, we'll give out our hard hit of the night. It's brought to you by B&K Auto Body. They offer you car rental, 24-hour towing, and certified technicians when your vehicle has been smashed by a hard hit. They also have free computerized estimates at B&K Auto Body. Phone 847-3990. Our hard hit of the night goes on the hit that it was either an incomplete pass or a fumble, and it turned out to be a big completion and a first down. So I don't know how all that happened, but Jericho Ferris hit the receiver after he came down with the football. The ball came free. The receiver had both feet taken out from underneath him and ended up on his back. Somehow Seneca still got the football, but we'll worry about that for another time. But that definitely was our hard hit of the night.
Oh, certainly. Just one of those plays where the safety arrives just after the ball, and just a great hit. Ball jarred loose, and down to the turf they go. And physical game tonight. A lot of really physical play along the line of the scrimmage, but play out in the open field like that, you get a crowd reaction, and certainly we could see it from up here.
So Jericho Ferris, our hard hit of the night, brought to you by B&K Auto Body. They offer claims assistance with all major insurances. They also do current paint and matching techniques to put your hard hit vehicle back on the road again. B&K Auto Body, phone 847-3990. Our Wildcat Player of the Game is brought to you by Fast Trip at 104 South Main in Cassville. Great prices and friendly service is what you'll find at Fast Trip. Stop by today. Locally owned by Mike and Anita Carr. Our player of the game tonight, the quarterback for the Wildcats, Hayden Sink. He runs for 2 scores and 52 yards. He throws for 138 yards and a touchdown tonight on 6 of 11. Did a great job guiding the offense, both with the ground attack and through the air. Made some great decisions on some option calls as whether to pitch or not to pitch and keep it himself. Guided the offense for 42 points tonight, and Hayden Sink is our Wildcat Player of the Game.
Yeah, he did a good job, and he's getting better each week in that option game, making those reads, and those are decisions that are they have to be made very quickly, and responsible for 3 touchdowns tonight, and just a well played game by Hayden Sink.
He is our Player of the Game, brought to you by Fast Trip. If you need fuel, grocery items, fountain drinks, or snacks, Fast Trip has it all, and at the very best prices. 104 South Main in Cassville. Fast Trip, locally owned by Mike and Anita Carr. So the Wildcats victorious tonight. Other finals around the Big 8. The Aurora Hound Dogs pick up another win. They go to Marshfield to knock off the Blue Jays 40-13. Springfield Catholic and the Mount Vernon Mountaineers, of course the Irish, their first game back after 3 weeks out because of coronavirus, mainly to their coaching staff. There was a couple of players, but it hit their coaching staff hard. They had 3/4 of their staff down with it, and one severely ill in the hospital, but they were able to come back tonight. So both teams kind of a restart with Mount Vernon plagued by injuries, and the Irish hold off the Mountaineers tonight 6-0, and that's kind of a stunning score there. I didn't expect that one. Nevada beats East Newton 52-7. Reed Spring falls to Kearney. They were supposed to play McDonald County, but McDonald County had to pull out, so Kearney came down from the Kansas City area and beat Reed Spring 40-14. And Rogersville, late in the fourth quarter, holding on to a 23-20 lead over Hollister. And that battle between the two number 2s, Nixa number 2 in Class 6, Webb City number 2 in Class 5 over in Webb City tonight. It goes to the Cardinals over the Eagles, 28-0.
Webb City does it again. Again, looking at the district standings, the first two games you mentioned there, it's getting very interesting here. And right now the Wildcats should have the number 1 seed in the district. As long as they win out, they should maintain that number 1 seed.
Yeah, and they've got another Class 4 school with McDonald County in week number 9, so if they can win that, that's even more bonus points.
With Mount Vernon losing tonight and Aurora winning, the way it looks in our district standings, Aurora would jump the Mountaineers. Cassville would be the 1 seed, Aurora 2, Mount Vernon 3. Even if the games play out, there's a lot of football left to play, but theoretically, with the points, Mount Vernon could possibly jump Aurora in points and come back to the 2 seed, but they can't jump twice. So the head-to-head at this point is over.
That would be nullified, yes.
Right. As long as, if the Wildcats can win the next 2 games, they'll maintain the number 1 seed and get home field here in the districts.
Yes, like Al Davis used to say, just win, baby. It takes care of everything.
That's exactly right. Just take care of each game, 1 game at a time, and you hold your destiny in your hands.
Well, Seneca will return home next Friday night, and they'll be taking on the Lamar Tigers. Lamar was supposed to play they were supposed to play Monette tonight. That game got canceled for Monette having troubles. They had rescheduled Butler, and then Butler had to pull out because of coronavirus issues. So Lamar was off tonight, but they'll be ready to go for Seneca. And Cassville on the road next Friday night. They head over to Don Johnson Stadium to take over the East Newton Patriots. And it's like Coach was saying, last year it was a 7-0 game here at halftime, and Cassville has had some troubles over there in East Newton in some years. So it's another one of those games where you got to get your head on straight, take it on the road, and take care of business.
Well, you've got to play focused, disciplined football every Friday night, especially in this league. If not, you'll find yourself in a bad situation. I expect Cassville to make the trip over there and play well next Friday night.
Wildcats improved to 5-2 overall, and they are now 2-2 in the Big 8 West. Of course, the conference standings are going to be all a mess this year with all of the games that have been canceled, but it's that overall record that everyone's looking at in the district standings right now, and Cassville picking up their 5th win of the year with the victory here this evening. That's going to wrap things up tonight. We appreciate Athletic Director Doug Martin and all of his staff, Superintendent Richard Asbill, and all the kind folks here at Cassville for all the hospitality this evening. We'll be back for week number 9 and then on into the postseason if the Wildcats can keep those top seeds and get some home games in the district playoffs. We look forward to that, but next Friday night it'll be over to East Newton, and we invite you along for that one here on the Talon Network stations and on Web TV and YouTube as well. Thanks to all of our sponsors for helping support our broadcast, whether on Web TV or on the radio. We appreciate them so very much for helping us get these games out to the public and supporting Cassville High School athletics. And thanks to Dwayne and Janet back at the studios. They always keep an eye on things for us on Friday nights, but tonight we had to put them into a little double duty because of our issues on the radio side here this evening. Hopefully we'll get those figured out by next Friday night and won't have those issues. But we appreciate everyone being with us tonight here on the Talon Network and enjoying Cassville High School football. We'll be back with you next Friday night at East Newton. Our final score again here this evening, Cassville over Seneca, 42-21. Speaking for Todd and Jeremy, this is Sammy saying thanks so much for joining us, and good night from Wildcat Stadium.